evening, ladies, lords, lasses, and all those in between. It is I, your humble game master, the Deathly Shad, here today to bring you some more D&D content and some more Rains of Vitrium. Joining me today, as always, are my lovely, lovely players. Agathar, say hi to the people.
Gug time.
Gug time. Morrigan, say hi to the people.
Hello, Gug time.
Gug time. Rencois, say hi to the people.
It's Gug time.
It's Gug time. Soren, say hi to the people.
Right now, I've got a few more things to worry about than Gug time.
Gug time. Vani, say hi to the people.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
You broke it. You did do it.
You.
Thousand years curse. Thousand years curse.
1,000 years dungeon!
You know exactly what's going on. Gug time. That's what's going on.
Yeah, Gug time.
Vaelyn is like literally most players into like play into like Dark Souls, where you do a perfect run on a boss and then last minute it just plows you into the ground. It's like, you were so close.
You had 1
You were
HP!
I had that happen. The fury is so mighty.
And remember, if you enjoy our content, to like, subscribe, and so on and so forth. Leave a comment if you want to get some engagement. If you want to catch us live, you can do so at twitch.tv/deathlyshad, where you can converse with us in the pre-stream and the post-stream. Woo-oo! Till then, let's get right into the action. When last we left our heroes, Agathar the Kobold Rogue, Morgan the Halfling Divination Wizard, Rencois the Rabbit Folk Monk, Soren the Rabbit Folk Samurai, and new party member Vani the Rabbit Folk Paladin, the party has discovered that Vaelyn has been taken by Lucas, no less. And with the threat that his mind could become scrambled eggs should they get any other Archmage involved, they began to deliberate what they could do to try and succeed in this horrendous time. And after much deliberation, they tried to call in a few favors and help possibly locate and retrieve Vaelyn. One of which, upon having her name invoked, appears as Garmethi Felu has come
Knocks on my door.
Yeah, has come knocking to ply her trade and visit her friend Rencois. What secrets will she reveal? Just what is she? What will she, or what aid will she provide, if any, in this dire time of need? And what will her price be? Who knows? I don't. Let's find out today as we return to the Rains of Vitrium.
I mean, I don't know if it's dire or not. Doesn't seem like it's the party, but who knows?
So, boom, boom, boom. 3 heavy knocks at the front door. Little friend, let me in. I hear you want to help. Or you want some help?
Maury's just like staring placidly at the door. Is like, this may as well happen.
You open the door?
I don't even care anymore. At this point, it's a fucking revolving door.
Of freaks stepping in, not wiping their feet.
Alright. So, who's opening the door?
Rencois just kind of blinks. Oh, wow. And she just shrugs and she'll walk over to the door.
Alright.
Oh. Maury, you may want to be ready with the full vision thing.
Just kind of like looks at you, eyes half lit. Is like, are you sure they need to see to speak?
Oh, but they are my friend.
3 more knocks at the door.
She just, her face scrunches up. Are you sure about this?
I mean, she's already here.
Yes, and she's still outside, where I prefer her to be.
If you want, I can talk to her outside. But
I'm not leaving you alone.
I'm not letting you converse with a Darkling alone.
Let me in.
she's a sweetheart. She's just
Misunderstood.
socially inept.
I look at
But she
Agathar.
tries.
I'm just looking at Agathar. Does he look angry?
What is his danger sense right now?
Your danger sense?
Uh-huh.
I would say it's spiking, but in the way but not in the sense of like you are in danger, but more in the line of like there's
We're
lava
near
near.
the
Yeah, but more in the line of like there's lava nearby. That's dangerous. I should avoid that.
Gotcha.
It's basically the danger sense saying, "Man, I don't even know what's going on right now."
Yeah. He kind of looks. He doesn't look angry. He looks. I mean, obviously, he looks a little confused and a little nervous. But he kind of looks at Morgan just like, if Rencois trusts this person, then I'm sure it's fine. But I'm just gonna, and he's gonna do his best to hide.
The whole carriage rattles ever so slightly, and you hear, "You can always trust me. I'm friendly. Just look at my smile."
I hide with a 23.
Oh wait, you
Oh,
can't
you've been working
see
on-
me through the door.
Oh, have you been practicing the smile, by the way?
Yes, I can add teeth now.
Rencois just thinks about that. We'll have to see if that's better or worse. Just a moment, Eve.
Is there like a window to the carriage?
None that can be seen through. They're all stained glass.
Okay. You guys can see like a large dark silhouette along one of the stained glass windows with this piercing red orb that seems to kind of like shine light through it.
Should we be concerned or ready for fight?
No. She's a sweetheart. She's just a bit different.
Agathar's just gone.
She's gonna open the door.
All right. So
Morgan is not stopping you.
as the
But she
door
looks perturbed.
as the door opens up, shadows slither into the corners of it, and these two bright red eyes just boop boop appear
I'll
within
be right
it.
back.
And as two taloned hands chalked in white powder clutch at the edges of the door itself, you see the shadows all around the room begin to bend and distort towards the doorway itself, as emerging from within the darkness and the shadows itself is your good friend that I will reveal the art for. Although she does look different. Ba-da-da-da-ba, yeah.
Kill
yeah.
She is my daughter.
Yes.
Oh, it's adorable.
It's okay,
I wanna
she doesn't
adopt her.
It's okay. She doesn't have the arrow anymore.
Yeah. So, currently speaking, as she does fully step into the room, you see that instead of like the tattered robes that she has on this art piece, she instead has this long, flowing, shadowy garb that seems to kind of like drift like smoke. The arrow, of course, is removed from her chest. It's no longer there because of Rencois. And this white powder just kind of like chalks along her face, her beak, and her kind of like her cheeks, making her smile like closed with just like the beak showing. The black ichor is no longer leaking profusely from the eyes, but upon entering the caravan itself, she looks to Rencois and she smiles, and that white powder that looks like feathers just chalks and breaks away as it just goes wider and wider and wider like a Cheshire cat smile. And this time, you notice, instead of there being no teeth, there are sharp fangs just littering the interior.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm back.
Isn't she cute?
And they go all the way up to the tip of the beak.
As Rencois
I have pearly whites now.
Right.
I see that. You've also, the clothes look good, and I can tell you've definitely been practicing the makeup. It's much better than last time I saw.
Rencois, you can tell that for makeup, she literally just grabbed a bunch of white chalk and just put all over herself.
Look, that is still an improvement. Because the last time I did her makeup, it was immediately smeared by black ichor. So, baby steps.
Yes, I have to use chalk because everything else runs black.
Fair enough. Wow. And she'll kind of step over and kind of, pat the shoulders, clean off the garment, kind of flicking off all the chalk that, drifted down from her smiling.
Yeah.
What inspired the teeth?
Well, a friend of mine said you're never fully dressed without a smile. And they had pearly white teeth, so I took them.
Morgan's just got a placid look on her face, like, yeah, this is happening.
I will say her eyes are following you, Rencois, without any trouble.
I think where Agathar just sounded like it disappeared to. I don't know what the cabinets look like. I don't know if there's space
speaking
between,
of, very funny thing, Agathar, where you are, you're kind of like inside the shadows. You see the shadows that you're hiding within just getting pulled away and just kind of pulled off of your hiding place, like it's tack, like it's gum or something, just and it just doesn't return.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I think he's just staring at this thing. It's just like, have you seen this shit, Doug?
This bitch again.
Huh?
And then you see Rencois, you would see Garmenthi's eyes just kind of immediately just lock on to where Agathar is, and she's like, just like, oh, you're here too? Of course I'm here, wretch. This is my hovel. Well, Rencois is my friend.
And this is
We're still at the point that none of us fucking hears dog, though, right?
The only one who has heard
It's still only Agathar.
Yeah.
Agathar and Vaelyn have been. Vaelyn has heard his true voice.
Vaelyn saw him write Abyssal.
So we're all just confused, who the hell Garmethi is too.
She looks like she's talking to Agathar.
Agathar just kind of pops out. Apparently Doug and Garmethi know each other.
Of course I know this wretch. She's responsible for me. She's responsible for me being like this. I'm only as responsible as you are. You're the one who made the deal with the other witch instead of me. You. Bitch!
okay, Doug. He just like summons him from wherever he is and just kind of like holds him back. Just okay, we do not need some hostilities right now. Hi.
What do
It's
you
just like,
want, Darkling?
Her eyes then flick over to you, Morgan. Oh, someone who knows of us.
A witch in her own knows the other side, at least enough.
Hmm. Oh, I see. We can't be friends. You already have one.
It wouldn't change my feelings towards you.
Anyway, what would you want, Friend Rencois? I heard my name called.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, first things, it's always good to see you here. You've been keeping out of trouble, I pray.
Always.
How? You mentioned getting your teeth from a friend, so I'm guessing friend making is going better.
She smiles and what's your passive?
18.
All right. You would notice that there are a multitude of smiles within the darkness behind her outside of the cabin. Yes. Very good. People are
But
desperate.
yes, well, I meant more friends along, the vein of me who just, you know, friends who want to be friends for your company.
Oh, no. No one wants to get to know me like that. They only want what I can give them. Then they leave. They're always so scared. They always run.
Well, remember, we've talked about that before, of just, the whole shadows and smiles hiding in the shadows tends to freak most people out.
I
Um,
approached someone openly. I walked out of the woods and I said hello. And they said, "Ah, help! Run! It's a monster!"
The proper response.
And then I grabbed their hand and I said, "I'm no monster." And they couldn't get free of my grip. And I pulled them into the woods and I showed them I wasn't a monster. They shook my hand and became my friend. And then they ran.
we'll,
They were very
we'll,
fast.
we'll, we'll, we'll work on it. And she just looks at it's like it's a work in progress. Um, so I imagine the idea of being able to go into town is still something you're working towards.
Yes.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I know one thing I definitely mentioned the last time was remember keep small smiles, like you know, not the whole all the way across the mouth, just little small smiles, maybe.
You see her smile go
Your
from
friend was right. You're not
her her smile goes from 100% to like 50. Like this.
maybe small.
She goes down to
They need
25%.
They need a glamour if they are to pass.
Probably.
Oh.
Ah,
Mm.
okay, so well then that would then be behavioral, but that can be for another time. But and she will step forward and give Garmethi a hug. It is very good to see you.
She very awkwardly
Yeah.
hugs you back and just kind of pats you a couple times because that's what you're supposed to do when you hug people.
I've seen the mortals do this.
Ah, I've seen many people do this before. It's supposed to be warm, and it is.
She's like bone cold, isn't she?
Yes,
Yeah,
like
I figured.
ice. Like when you finally pull away from her, you kind of have like some frosting on your fur.
Yeah. Um,
Cold as the grave. So,
well,
you needed my help.
well, I did want to ask because I know you know, move around and travel a lot. Do you know anything about a man named Lucas?
Hmm, I know some.
No. Well, that may be more than we know at this point. What do you know?
You know I can't give things to people for free. Secrets for secrets. Or other thing. You know,
The blood god.
you know, there is one thing that you could provide for me that would give you somewhat unfettered access to my knowledge. But I
And
don't know if you'd
what
be
would that
willing.
be?
Your body. Only
Are-
temporarily.
I
I stare at Wed's Red Swat to see if she's legitimately thinking about it.
She doesn't look like she's considering it. She's looking like she's trying to consider to let her down slowly.
Uh,
I think Morgan can read this as like no.
it's not your decision.
I look to Rensois. No.
Rencois a
I
grown woman.
And my partner.
Mm.
yeah, well, I am rather attached to my body.
And what about some of the spare ones you have?
Now she looks like she's considering things.
No!
You
Uh,
tell me how
uh.
you're going to pry those from your mother's grasp, as we've already tried, and she's been very adamant about saying no.
and you know, what will you do with said body, if you don't mind me asking?
wear it, probably.
Yes. This one's falling apart, and its smiles are too wide, apparently.
You can sustain a body.
Do you just need a like a corpse, like a body, or do you?
Oh yes, you're looking at the one kobold who can stitch you a body out of nearly any kind of part.
Oh, I know. But he would need to do more than just stitch a body for me. It would need to be a living one.
That's where the issue lies.
I could teach you how to make one. But of course, that would depreciate the value of it.
You
You
know,
wouldn't get as much information for it.
So what are our other options?
Oh, like I said, secrets for secrets. The bigger the better.
I am your friend, aren't you?
Of course you're my friend. That's why you're getting a small, friendly discount.
Right. I mean, what kind of secrets do you want?
Any and all. Like I said, the more important, the lesser known, the better.
how Agatha.
The more far-reaching the consequences of people knowing it, the better. For example, a secret of a preferred food you have that you want no one else to know. That is secretive, yes, but it's not far-reaching in consequences. It won't topple kingdoms or governments by someone knowing it. But other things, well... She shrugs.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Yeah, Francois kind of just like turns back and is like, do we have anything like that?
Not that far-reaching.
You guys have a couple things. You have Morgan's plans that are still currently in place. That would have far-reaching consequences.
That it would.
You have the fact that you guys were the ones who personally dispatched a debt lord. That has far-reaching consequences.
Yeah, for us.
You have...
I thought that was known.
It isn't known that you
Well,
guys,
vaguely.
like, it's vaguely known, but, like, it's one of
Known
the...
in certain circles.
It's known in certain circles, yes, but it's not one of those things that's widely known, and those people who are...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not public knowledge. It's one of those things of, like, you can get some value out of it now, since a majority of the people who would be interested in knowing that do not know that. There's also the fact that the Transmutation Archmage was the one who called down the sandstorm. That could also have far-reaching consequences.
Not like she could pay. You know what? Not like that she could pay for that kind of consequence. Honestly, she's just like, oh no, what do I do? Zap.
If
Literally
anything,
unmake.
I was gonna say, if anything, she would hope that someone come at bitch
Yeah.
for the entertainment value.
And anybody who steps on her lawn just turns to stone.
Let me think. You also know about the truth of Ramier in his past. That doesn't have as far-reaching consequences as it would otherwise normally have, but it's still a secret that is not very widely known to people.
Agatha has one, but since it's not, he doesn't know how far-reaching it is.
I mean,
as an issue.
you can ask me above game.
Okay.
I mean, like, you like, are you, you DMing it to me, man?
Yeah, I just sent it.
Alright.
Goddamn player secrets.
Hmm. You are right. That can have some consequences, but it's consequences localized to the party around you.
Okay. It's not probably gonna give me much.
It can get you something. Like
Okay.
any secret is worth something.
Okay.
And also you guys can just make offers of like, "Oh, I'll give you this or that, like these magic items here." Like like she's not saying that secrets are the only thing she's interested in. It's just like, that's
it's
the
the
preferred.
most she's interested in.
It's the
Yeah.
preferred currency, yes.
Yeah. Agatha looks at the goose like, I have one. I guess we could do one if you guys don't have anything in mind. There's maybe a couple, but not to throw somebody under the bridge. Not like anybody could chase her after doing that, though. Do you want me?
No, what are you going to share that's going to...
It's not about us. At least the first one. It's nothing. It's not you. He just like reassures, like, it's not you.
Oh, okay. Well, I looked at Garmethi. Wait, we tell you something and you find it not meeting your requirements, then you still owe us for the information given, yes?
Of course. I am nothing
Yes.
if not fair.
We get something no matter what. So, if you feel like it isn't going to come back to us, do what you think is right.
I
Okay.
don't disclose where I get things from. It's not
Yes.
nice.
Well, that's appreciated at least. Okay, well, here's one. He kind of steps a little closer. There was a sandstorm that essentially destroyed Fort Providence, and we know who summoned said sandstorm. It was the Archmage of Transmutation that summoned it.
Garmethi's like the
Oh.
lolly lule lo? What?
Oh.
Well, she knows Lucas.
That's big information. That certainly gets you something big, too. Let me think. What do you want to know about Lucas?
And she kind of like looks within them all. Oh, what exactly is our priority right now? Motives, location.
Motives is
Location could
decent.
change.
Honestly, I would love it for Garmethi to be themed to them. But information's good too.
Maybe why he has Vaelyn. Maybe what the mission is.
I'm sorry to say I don't know what the mission is. But I can give you something else. Something of equal importance, very likely to each of you. I can tell you the city that he's located in.
Alright.
Well, that depends how likely is he to leave that city.
Not very. Not right now. Grand machinations are in play. Perhaps once those are done, he will leave. But before then, no.
So he'll stay put for at least for a while. That's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Maybe if we know where he is, and then if we miss him, he might leave something behind.
Worst case scenario, it's the start of a trail.
Did you? He looks like Garmethi. Did you say that this earns us each a piece of information, or just one?
Just one, depending on how big the information is.
Okay.
So, location then?
I guess so. I mean, if she doesn't know what the mission is, I don't think she'll know where Vaelyn is going to be going. And maybe it's within this confines of whatever city that he's in.
Maybe.
There in
Although,
Lake Post.
Garmethi, you mentioned Grand Machination.
Yes.
Do you know what those are, or is that another beyond the knowledge of their existence?
That would be his plans for the place, which I don't know.
Yeah. Just that he has them.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right. Where's that bastard hiding my brother?
In the city of Shalshana, the capital of the humans in Vuori. Speaking of, very, very minor aside, this is a city that's new to this setting specifically, in case anyone was wondering.
I was wondering. I was like, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
Shalshana.
Chao Shana?
Shalshana. I will spell that for you.
Well, good news is he's in Viori.
I was close. I was short an N and I put an apostrophe.
Yeah, I was one in short.
Same. Cursed double N's.
Ah,
It's like, but did you get the silent W?
God damn it!
Curse this up! Curse this random oomflow!
anyway,
Damn you, England.
other...
Damn you.
What other secrets do you have? Well, perhaps if you don't have any of those, you could always provide something a bit more tangible, or something more esoteric.
Do you want a weird slime girl?
She points to Agathar. Your smile would fetch a high price. She grins.
He kind of like nervously grins.
Especially because you're connected to him.
It's like, I'll tell you whatever you want if you give me love.
You know what?
Oh,
In
no.
fact, I'll tell you another thing. Anything you want that I know, if you give me Doug.
For 30 minutes.
He kind of like pulls him away. He's like, nah, we're good.
No, let me at the bitch.
No, you're not gonna win that fight.
I'll annihilate her still. I have my eldritch powers.
I think they see fucking Agathar just like start struggling, holding the fucking mole back. Like, no, Doug. Relax.
Meanwhile,
chill out.
Rencois, very confused still from only one side of the conversation. I'm still confused. Why do you know Doug?
Oh, that's not his original form. He's very upset about that.
Of course I am, you wench.
He blames me. In reality, he attacked me first when I wanted to just be friends. So, I maybe rended his body in twain, and then someone else captured his soul before it could return elsewhere.
It sounds like I did you a favor, Doug. Now chill out.
No, 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 she will die!
Doug, I'm telling you, you don't want that smoke.
You don't want that smoke, Doug.
you see Doug level his little mole claws at her, and just go power, but nothing happens.
Just, just swiping at the air.
See, I told you nothing's gonna work, Doug. Chill out.
Fine then, vessel,
see them.
attack!
I can't see her. My vision is too bad, but I smell bitch.
Smell it.
Anyway, Garmenthi's just like, "Aw, won't let me have him. That's okay. I just wanted to play."
I shove the Doug in the bag of holding and I seal it tight. Okay. All right. Sorry. He kind of like keeps it closed with his arms. I do have a question you might be able to know for a secret that is a bit more localized.
Oh, please.
He looks at. Hold on, he's gonna see who he looks at first. He kind of gives Rencois a nervous look. One of those where it's just like, I'm gonna get in trouble kind of look.
Her eyes just narrow because she knows that look of I'm about to do something stupid and I'm aware.
We had a mission in Mirzai. It was a bank. It was a robbery. It was a vault robbery, and I may have altered my position in that plan.
Oh,
What?
sure. That'll get you something.
Cool.
What are you wanting to know?
What do you know about the Sectum Sepra?
Oh. That information's gonna require a bigger secret.
Can't even. Come on, I already spilled the beans. Can't give me a little
Oh, no, I'll give you something, but if you give me another secret in addition to that one, I could give you something.
It's okay. I have a neuralizer.
What's that again? The Sectum Septra?
Sectum Sepra. Sempra.
Yeah, it is.
That's important.
Bethany said it. She said, "Remember
Oh.
this," and then
Yeah, as she was melting. Yeah.
You know of it though.
oh, I know of it.
I was the one that gave Sword diarrhea.
Just looks at you.
Also just stares at him like, really?
He's panicking. He doesn't know what else to say.
Fine. I suppose I can give you something. But you're in debt now.
Huh?
She'll lean in, and she will whisper something to you.
Okay. I'm in danger.
Yeah. God damn it, Agathar.
No, it's fine. It's my daughter. Nothing bad could ever happen.
No, yeah, nothing bad will happen. I'm not
You're
gonna
right.
get some sort of debuff.
You're in debt now. And to clear your debt, I want him.
No, he's worth more than the debt.
Oh. Okay.
And when she whispers that to you, just kind of like whoosh, 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 whoosh. And now, do you want to clear your debt with a more esoteric thing?
Does it have to be esoteric?
Oh, it could be another secret.
Can I ask what the starting price is for the esoteric thing? I'm not gonna like it, I don't think.
Something you won't miss, probably.
It's a lying, you know it.
Is it my smile?
No, your smile's worth more than this.
I had a lot of things come after me from my body, especially one person. Can I ask what you're planning on taking?
Just a little bit of your magic for a temporary period.
Oh man, I really need that magic. How temporary?
Hmm.
130
No.
just has like no perception of time.
Somewhere between 5 and 100 days.
How important is this?
It's his debt. He must clear it.
I'm asking him.
I mean, I have a couple of plans. I don't know. I have a couple of projects in mind that really help us out.
With this sanctum thing you said, how important is it that we know?
It seems pretty important. I mean, Bethany told me about it as she was melting, and she looked serious. Like her demeanor dropped.
If I look at Garmethi, is there a chance I can insight on whether or not that information is easily found in some other way?
No. Like, this information, straight up, I'm sure Agathar can attest to this, can only be found out in a very limited number of ways.
Yeah.
I can pay the debt.
Oh! What will you pay in exchange?
I can give you the knowledge of a spell I developed. The only living person who knows of it at the moment.
Oh, that'll more than pay for the debt. Do you have a secret you want to know as well?
Huh. You know, in fact, I might. We were looking for someone a while back. So that got brushed under the rug. You wouldn't happen to know the whereabouts of the last Smith, Sybil?
Oh, I would.
And would a copy of this knowledge of a one-of-a-kind spell never seen before be sufficient?
Considering the use you had in mind for it, yes. She smiles.
If you thinks for a moment, hours to make a copy.
This is fine. I will wait. In exchange, she will reach into her shadows and pull forth a compass. This will point you to her location. She's currently on the move, never in one place for very long, and this will track her for roughly 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It's continuous information on a target of your choice that is very hard to find otherwise.
Grumps. You don't have a way I can simply ping their location once in a while instead of giving me a time limit? I am giving you a spell that does not have such a limitation.
I suppose I could, but it would have a limited number of uses.
Would it give me their location? Or their direction?
Direction and distance.
Could I slap 2 more weeks onto that if I also share a spell only that I created? I only showed it off, and I think I'm the only one that can cast it right now.
Oh. I'll add additional pings since this one doesn't want a time limit.
Just grumps. I am currently not in my top form, and our caravan is not to be moving very soon. I don't want to leave it.
I understand. With this, the compass will have 10 pings.
Fantastic.
It should be sufficient.
She makes grabby hands.
Oh, the scroll first, and then you get the compass.
She slips out of her seat on the pillows and leans into her staff as she kind of hobbles up the steps towards her room, where she kind of halts at the door. Then grimaces before going in. It will take a while for her to.
Now, are there any others that wish to make deals and exchanges? You haven't given up your spell yet, Agathar.
Yep, not yet. What time is it?
I would say it is around 10:30ish.
Can he? How long does it take?
I would say
second level spell.
For a what? Wait, what?
He's gonna copy down recall protocol.
So on a technicality, it takes a lot longer to make a spell scroll of it, but since you're just copying down the notation, you're not making it activatable. I would say it's like an hour per spell level, so it'd be 2 hours.
I don't have that kind of time.
Oh, he don't, but he can always take a rain check.
Morgan's gonna be angry. We'll rain check. I have something soon. So if I need you, I'll call your name.
Of course. Do it at nighttime, though. And after tonight, do it thrice.
Okay, 3 times. Night at 3 times. All right, sounds good to me. I got nothing.
Does Rencois have anything else that she would like to add or offer?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what kind of a secret she would really have.
Like I said, you can also offer things that are esoteric to you. Like literally, she asked for Agathar's smile.
Yeah, but I need that though.
Yeah, if Agathar gives up his smile swing, he's gonna be really angry at him, and he's not gonna be dealing with that.
She's like,
I mean, like I said,
a smile.
Like I said, and also you can offer temporary giving things up. And also that offer to make her body still on the table if anyone wants to, throw that out there.
Yeah, but she needs a live body, so no.
Yes. So what she means by that is
she wants to take one of the clones.
Rencois was gonna ask her.
Not even that. Not even the clone thing, but more like you would need to feed something into it to make the body alive, like you did with Soy Fang.
Yeah.
And sort of like you did with Zulaman, but that requires a soul. For this, you would need to make the body alive, and that would take something from you because it's necromancy. It's above your pay grade.
Yeah. He has no more to give.
He always has something.
He always has something, but it's more willing to give in this current circumstance.
All right. You were saying, Rencois?
Well, she was gonna ask her. It's like, what would you need for a body?
She just gestures behind her. The city. I want to enter it. I can only come inside on very limited occasion because of reasons. If I had a body, then I wouldn't need to worry about it. I could just go.
There is the a couple of behavioral things that we need to work on. But beyond that, I understand your point. But I meant, what would you need in terms of getting this body?
Well, there are a few ways I can get one. I either make a friend and the friend perishes, then I use theirs. Or I ask someone for theirs, but no one's given me theirs yet. And even then, it's only ever temporary, but no one ever wants to. And then there's clones that I can take, but only if someone allows me to. And then there are people. Well, I suppose I could give you something that lets you make someone my friend for me. If you did that for me, I would be ever so grateful.
Is there a way to get your body won't degrade with time?
Elves are good for that. As it stands, I'm limited to the body I'm in, which is an ch-ldr-n one. It doesn't last very long because it never would. Normally, it ages so terribly quickly.
Right.
You know,
But you would need a living body, or
a living body,
a
yes.
body brought back to life.
One that's brought back to life would work. But of course I have to deal with the, owner of that body.
Well, I was thinking of, I had an idea of something a bit more outside the box.
Oh, what's that?
Well, and Rencois will kind of swipe a hand about and kind of gesture out, and some of her mushroom spores will kind of swirl around her. There's any number of necromantic mushrooms that can essentially recreate the facsimile of life within a corpse.
Are you proposing to plant mushrooms on me? She asks,
Well, they live-
she has like a curious tone to her voice. She's not like disgusted or anything like that. She's just like curious, like, what?
Well, they live on me perfectly fine. I really don't understand people's avoidance of them.
I don't either.
So would such a thing work?
I don't know. I've never tried mushrooms. I have an idea if the mushrooms don't work. She reaches into her shadows and pulls out a beaded bracelet that has friend written on it. That has friend written on like the blocks. And then she hands it to you. If you put that on someone's wrist and tell them that and say, "You're my friend to the end," they become my friend too.
Maybe we should talk about this.
We'll try the mushrooms, but I'll take the bracelet as back.
Yay! I'm here for a few hours, so we can certainly try the mushrooms while we wait. And then she will walk over and take a seat, on a couch, on like a chair, just very daintily sitting. As like darkness just keeps stretching towards her. It's like it's like Shikamaru's shadow jutsu. Like all the shadows are pulling towards her.
I kind of tug on Princess cloak a little bit. She's like, "Can we talk about this?"
What's up?
Look, he kind of like he tries to go to whisper. It's just like, "Look, I trust you. I 100% trust you. I mean, she's being kept out for a reason, right?" I don't. I mean, I don't want to unleash something on this city, you know?
Well, it's not as though I would be slapping the bracelet on a random passerby.
I mean, yeah, hey, yeah, I know, but I'm just worried about getting her body is gonna. But I guess if that just makes more friends, then I guess we
She's
could be.
she's already in a body.
I know, but a
Little would
living.
change beyond the vessel that she would be inside of.
Right, but she's talking about wanting to be in the city.
Because at the end of the day, she wants to fit in. She just kind of glances back at her again. Odd.
I I would agree with you, sis, but this this is giving me Eidolon vibes and not Cecil vibes, if you catch my drift.
Hey Agatha, what's your passive?
Not high enough.
Oh, your passive perception, just in general.
12.
All right, and you're exhausted.
Yeah.
So
I have 2 levels.
Okay, you would have a 7 then.
Yeah.
Okay. Vani, what's your passive?
15.
Okay. So both Vani and Rencois hear as Garmethi just begins to hum and sing to herself while waiting. Hush now, hide all you little ones, rush now into the middle of nowhere, singing and laughing will die. She's just singing to herself. Don't
It's a
worry.
little odd. She has a good heart.
All right. I trust you. Well, you
Look,
got this.
yeah, like I said, I can see if I can't do something with my spores. There's, like I said, there's any number of necromantic shrooms that I can make use of that I've propagated with Mel's help. And push comes to shove, well, we've had more than an encounter or two with individuals that, well, let's say that I wouldn't be particularly upset if they lost ownership of their bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I agree on that. Well, let's I mean, she's already immensely powerful, so not like we could stop her anyway. All right.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna head out. I told Gustav I would meet up with her in the. Oh yeah, Gustav is here with her kids. They're so cute. Um, I told her I would meet up with her,
Oh,
so I'm gonna go with the
oh, oh
bar.
God, I forget that Gustav is a parent.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a couple of cute kids.
Those poor children.
They are well taken care of, thank you very much.
So.
Yes,
I'm
by
poor
their dad.
children.
So I'm gonna go meet up with her, and then I'll go
They are well
to the
taken care
meeting.
of by their dad.
And Gustav, she's a good parent.
Mom, yeah, Gustav's a good mom.
Gustav's a great mom. By the way, it's like, how long was she away from home?
Gustav, look,
Not
she
very
has
long.
Flash.
Playing Thor in the desert.
Not very long. She visits them pretty much every day.
Yeah, she was on a work trip.
She teleports around. It's no big deal.
It'll be fine. She's a great mom. She gives her kids all of the candies,
Yes.
Including the illegal ones.
including the ones laced with crack. So yeah, he's like, all right, I'm gonna head out. You know how to get me if things go. Should I leave the girls? He just kind of looks at Garmethi. He's just like, I probably shouldn't leave the girls here.
No, please leave them here. I would love to play chess against Belle.
He clutches his.
I hear she's quite good.
She taught herself. I'm quite proud. Anyway, bye. He runs away. he runs out of the door.
Aww, I upset him, Rencois.
He won't let me play with his daughters.
Or his pet.
Do you want to play chess with Wendy?
Sure. And that's what the two of them will do. Rencois, how are you going to implement your spores into her body to make it alive?
I have no goddamn clue. I was hoping you could help with that.
Okay. Well, all I need is like a general idea from you for how your character's thinking about going about this, and then I'll see about checks and rolls to make.
So
the family computer types up how to spore friend.
No, so basically my thought process was, right, so there's the whole thing with cordyceps, right?
Yes.
Like actual cordyceps, not the Last of Us cordyceps.
Yeah, I know.
But it essentially works in the same principle of where the spores essentially dig their way through into the nervous system and basically puppet the body.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought process is, magical fantasy land. There may be some like super version of that where it's like that could basically sustain those like synapses and neurons
So instead of being
through a body,
purely...
as long as the body is like within like a couple of days old and hasn't like completely, those synapses have stopped firing, a mushroom that could sort of, while the body is not alive per se, the mushrooms could essentially puppet the body around by maintaining those like neuron flows throughout the body as if it were alive.
Alright. Give me a nature check, and you have advantage because you were a druid of spores. Mushrooms are your thing, so you have advantage on this. And if you wish to, you can add guidance, assuming you still have that.
I do I still have guidance?
I know you can, like, martial arts diet.
I do still have guidance, okay.
Okay.
Did I not? No, I never set up a global modifier for guidance for some fucking reason. Oh no, I did. I'm just stupid and looked over it 3 times. I'm like, I swear to God, I put it on the sheet.
It happens.
Yeah, and then I'm debating on whether I do want to do that. Where is it at? One with nature.
I think you can spend like a key point to like do
it's
something.
a key point to give me advantage, but I already have it.
Okay. I'll let you burn a key point in this instance to
super advantage.
I'm not going to give you super advantage. I'll give you a roll on your martial arts die to add to it.
You have advantage on guidance.
No, it's basically advantage plus guidance plus martial arts die.
So there's the advantage nature.
It's a 15.
15 plus 17.
Oh man.
17. All right. With a 17, you know of specific mushrooms. You can't really think of their name off the top of my head, but you know what they do. But basically, you know that there are 2 kinds of mushrooms that are going to do what you're looking for. One of them is a symbiotic style mushroom that kind of like attaches to a person, and it keeps the body alive and kind of like helps them pilot it around, and basically it takes over certain parts of the body to help keep the body alive a bit longer. Like it's something that is used in medical wards to like give people who were paralyzed the ability to walk again, because the mushroom connects the one end of the spine to the other end of the spine and basically puppets their lower half for them. Because the mushroom gets nutrients from the person for being alive, and the person gets the benefit of being able to walk again. That kind of shit. And then you have mushrooms that do the same thing, but with a dead body instead. And what they don't do is they don't make the body alive again. However, you could maybe splice and hybridize the 2 mushrooms together to make a new mushroom that slowly takes a dead body and makes it a living one.
Would definitely not be her first time hybridizing shrooms.
And if you want to do that, that will take a couple days of time to do so, to get it to cultivate just properly, even with your natural druidic magic and stuff. And you would need to make a few checks over those days.
Okay.
But in theory, you could make a mushroom that slowly takes a dead body and repairs it until it's alive again, and then it just takes over the body itself and has it go about normal. The body becomes a host for mushrooms. In Garmenthi's case, you are 90% sure that once that body is alive again, I mean, she can just take over the mushrooms and the corpse itself, and the mushrooms will really have no way of fighting against her influence. But, you know, same thing.
All right. Yeah, in that case, that's what she's. Hold up, let me cook. Basically.
Yeah.
It's what she's.
That's what she says to Garmethi. All right, then. And keep in mind, a 17 got you.
Some ideas.
And keep in mind, a 17 got you there because of your natural connection to mushrooms lowering the DC, and your natural Archmage magic being central to mushrooms as a catalyst for necromancy, basically.
No. I mean, I also rolled a... on the die, I rolled a 1 and a 6. So hopefully I can, not roll shit.
Hopefully. If you would like, you can make all 3 of those rolls right now.
Alright, would it be the same thing, nature plus
It
guidance
would,
at
yes.
advantage?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Let's see what we've got. We've got a 21, a dirty 20, and a 19.
You can add martial arts
Those are
die to each of those.
So close to each and every one of those are so close to each other.
You said what?
You can add a martial arts die to each of those because of your abilities.
That'll be -3 more key points. Who cares? We're not fighting anything, right,
It's
Shad?
It's over a day.
Right.
It's over multiple days.
Okay, fair enough. So let me see. So 21. Okay, so 23. 23.
Bro.
Nah. All right.
Yeah,
Write those down, and I'll get back to you on the results of those in that amount of time. 3 days. With that having been said and done, Soren is still having the night of his life. Fun.
Well, Miggy is having the night of her life
Miggy's
in
getting
Soren's
slammed
body.
big style.
Yes. Yes. Very much so.
And Soren is not there, probably not seeing any of it because I doubt Miggy would carry the sword with her, but he is feeling all of it.
An out of body experience for sure. It's just like I
Very.
don't know how I feel about this. Feels great, but I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh god, Hidari's right there. Please don't look.
Hidori's like, I'm chill, man. It's whatever.
It's like your nature, man.
Don't worry
think it's
about
beautiful.
it, dude.
Yo,
Don't worry about it,
bro.
man. Just be you right now.
You gotta get it out, man. You gotta get it out.
I'm just like ruminating on like new ideas, man.
Like, all I'm saying, man, is that, like, you're breathtaking. No, you're breathtaking!
No, you're breathtaking.
And that goes on for the entire night.
Pretty much.
She's just doing illustrations in the background, don't worry about her.
Can you, like, try this on the little dude later?
We're really gonna have to try out this, like, mating press, she called it a couple times. Anyway, moving along. Agathor.
Hi.
Bobby, you run. You run so far away. Where are you meeting up with Gustav?
I believe I told her I would meet up at the bar with no name.
All right.
What I believe I said.
Okay, let me get different music. Boop, 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 boop. I do have a question. Does Vani have anything that she would like to say or do while Garmethi is just there?
No, I got nothing.
You don't want to use your divine sense? Question mark.
Do you want to have a nosebleed?
What exactly is it? And or-
do you sense an undead in the area? The answer is yes.
Oh boy, what a time to be alive.
Hmm. It's fine. I got nothing.
Damn, no divine sense. Mood. Give me just a moment.
What do you mean he needs to look for the undead? It's right there.
Listen. If we're gonna fight, it's just gonna be Rencois and Bonnie.
Look, the only person who's gonna be in a fight is gonna be the one who initiates it, which is probably gonna be you.
Well, listen, if this was Vaelyn, probably.
I have a question. What is the place that has tavern ambience? Like a game that has good tavern ambience? You know what?
You know what? I have some YouTube links saved. I used
Yeah.
those for my game.
I got something that just might work. Let's see if it will actually work.
I mean, there's a bunch of Skyrim ones.
Hey! It's supposed to work. There we go.
Well,
Rainforest. Don't worry
Hooray.
about it. So, yeah. You are running your way through the city itself. And making your way to, the bar with your name. Oh, roll a perception, buddy.
oh, certainly. That's a 5.
Boy, howdy. You don't see shit.
Damn it.
As you make your way over to the bar with your name. And upon entering the bar itself, you look around, and the place is poppin', as it normally is. You see, of course, Regina, Roger, Calvin. The three of them are just kind of like, serving people, giving muffins and other stuff. And as you kind of like look around, you do indeed spot Gustav over in the corner of the bar. She is currently entertaining her two kids by levitating them in the air.
Okay.
And then, as they fly a bit too high, she's like, "Hey, don't do that! Regina gone to me last time you left footprints up there."
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna take a. He sees her. He's gonna take a step out. Just gonna. I do have that spell prepared. I'm just gonna cast a spell on myself. To give myself proficiency in something. And then he's gonna.
What are you
inside.
What are you getting proficiency in, buddy?
Don't worry about it. it's a persuasion. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And
You feel sexier. I said you feel sexier.
Cool. He he thinks about that for a moment and then steps back inside. And then he's gonna go to Gustav and he's gonna say, "Hey, Gustav. Sorry about earlier. It was an important meeting."
Oh, it's okay, man. I totally forgot what happened earlier.
That's okay.
You like my kiddos? They're flying now.
Yeah.
They're a chip off the old block, as some people like to say.
Yeah. They're very cute. What was their names again? I'm sorry. It was a tense situation I was in.
Oh, I actually never got to name them, man. Well, that one, is that one. That one's name. She points to like the dark-haired one. Her name is Thea, and then she points to the blonde-haired one, and that one's name is Sia.
Is that with an S-E? Is that, how do you spell that? Also, I'm pretty sure she introduced the kids to him when he was talking with Bethany.
Let me check. I have those notes. If I did, then I will adjust their names.
I'd have to look in the previous session. I feel like
no, she never introduced her kids by name.
okay. I'll trust you for now.
They are Thea and Sia.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah. They're little hellions, as some people call them. I don't know what a hellion is, but it sounds cool.
I think it's an endearing way to say troublemaker.
Oh. And yeah, they're like 300% hellions.
Excuse me, I gotta go kill some people.
I gotta go kill some hellions. He kind of smiles a little bit. Yeah. He kind of looks up at the kids and
Hey, Agathar.
stares at them.
I don't know if you know this, but you look more attractive now than you did earlier.
Oh, thanks, Gustav. I appreciate that.
Is that a thing people can just do?
Kind of.
Wow.
It's he just shrugs.
I wonder if I could do that.
You probably could.
My hubby would appreciate it. Probably. I don't know.
You always gotta take the steps to make to spoil the significant other.
Oh, of course. I spoil him all the time by letting him fly and stuff. And then he says, put me down. I don't like flying. I put him down.
I just spoil mine with endless amounts of praise and love and you know just all the snuggles in the world. She hasn't said no yet, so that's a good start.
Oh, I tried that too. And his response is and then she just kind of like she goes silent and she just stares at you. Like that.
Mine kind of does that too, but it usually goes with
Oh.
Anyway, he kind of sits down next to her, just kind of stares up at the kids, and I think he takes a second just watching them, kind of gets a little, like, daydreams a little bit, and then kind of, after maybe a couple of seconds of silence, just still kind of staring up at the kids, he's just, you know, our conversation back in Mirzai? That little promise we made?
I forgot.
Oh. Well,
She pulls out a notebook. And starts flipping through it.
he lets her flip through it.
No, I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Maybe you want to write this down.
Oh, okay. I was told by hubby to always write stuff down if it's super important so I don't forget it.
That's a very good thing to follow up through upon. Honestly, it's important.
Yeah, he's the greatest. He's just so smart and so cute and so sweet and so muscular at the same time. And like, you know, there's this thing that he does with his hair where he just kind of like whips it like out of his hood, and she kind of like whips her hair. And if you don't stop her, she will ramble.
Yeah, I think he lets her ramble for a little bit, not like 30 minutes worth, but like 15 minutes. I think he just kind of like interrupts, just like, oh, I could go on about that myself, honestly, but you know, we promised to ourselves, because I was thinking about with me and my partner, well, fiance now, that if we had kids, then, you know, ours would hang out and have play dates and, you know, get to know each other.
Oh, that's so sweet. So where's the rope?
The what?
The rope. You said you tied the knot. Where's the rope?
Oh, I mean, he just motions to his hand to show off the sage ring. I mean,
Oh, okay.
no, it's not an actual rope.
It's not?
No, surprisingly, I learned that too.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Do kobolds have knots?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the other thing that people meant by tying knots. Apparently, other mice people have knots and stuff, and it was really weird to find that out.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Anatomy is really funny.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, the fact that I could change my sex in a matter of a couple weeks is pretty funny.
Oh, you can? That's so cool. I have to wear like a weird skin suit to do that.
Nah, I can do that biologically.
Nice.
Um,
That skin
anyway,
suit's on my simulacrum now.
You have a simulacrum?
Yeah?
Are they at home? Where do you keep them?
They're usually doing other jobs.
Like, oh, I don't know. I haven't seen them in like 7 years. They just
I
gotta
mean-
do their own thing.
She
Hold
says
on.
she's gonna go out and get milk and cigarettes.
Let me see.
She's her own person, kind of. I mean, she's also me.
She's gonna reach into her bag of holding. She's like, oh no, there he is, and she pulls this dude out. It is a border collie, and she's like, yeah, this is my simulacrum. His name's Sam Lacrin. Hi, my name's Sam Lacrin. How's your day? I was in a bag.
He just stares at Sam for a hot minute.
You see, this is the weird skin suit I was telling you about.
That's very good.
Yeah, I got it from a weird faceless man who's like, hey, buddy, here's a skin suit. And apparently... Oh, Sam, you gotta get back in the bag. Why is that, Gustav? Because people don't like you when they see your skin. Oh, okay. He slides back into the bag. Yeah, people don't like seeing his skin because it reminds them that, like, someone, like, grabbed someone else's skin and, like, ripped it off their body and made a suit out of it.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, I met him in Xanadu. He was pretty cool and stuff, though. I think. I forgot a lot about him.
What are we talking about? Anyway, roll it back to the comment about, you know, the play date thing.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, that might be happening sooner than I thought.
Really? Oh, that's cool!
Yeah.
But you don't have any kids.
Not right now, but in 9 months? 8 months? I
Oh
don't
my
know, I
gosh! You're
I kinda
pregnant! I'm so happy for your girlfriend! Wait a minute, she has one of those? Oh, that's pretty cool. I know a couple people like that.
No, my fiance's pregnant.
Oh, it's your fiancée who's pregnant and not you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You said you could change your sex earlier.
No, sorry, that was not related to what we're talking about in this moment.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so happy for you. You know, the
so
joy...
scared.
Hey, don't be scared. The joys of parenthood outweigh the detriments, including the lack of sleep.
Oh, I am way ahead of you on that one.
Good! Then you'll be able to survive the first couple years and not have to worry about it. Probably. I don't know.
Cool. Because I'm worried about surviving this couple of years. He kind of laughs nervously.
That's why you need a clone, or 2, or 3. I have a dozen myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You earlier today, I know you don't really remember it. You had like it's, how do I describe it? It's a thing. It's like a square thing.
Oh, my camera?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I got one of those. What's up?
What does it do? Like it flashed, I got blinded, and then
Well, it takes a picture.
like a drawing picture.
Yeah, but a lot more accurate and detailed. I even got my photo developed earlier. I went back home so I could do it because I was so excited, and I wanted to show you. And she kind of like reaches into her bag and she pulls Sam out again. And was like, "Here you go, Gustav." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And she takes this small little packet and just like pulls out a bunch of squares that have a black background that she then flips around to show a photorealistic picture of Agathar, Gustav, Thea, and Sia, both all smiling, and Agathar has his eyes closed and his mouth agape like, "Oh!"
He's mid sneeze, but he's recoiling from the flash.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
And in the background you can see like Bethany's ear. And in the background you can see Bethany with like kind of like the same expression on her face, just like, "Ugh! My eyes."
Huh. Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's all it does is just takes a picture. It doesn't does it zap simulacrums?
Nope. That's all it does. It just takes a picture. Here.
Cool.
And then she flips to a different one. And this one has both Thea and Sia with like these oversized lollipops just licking on them. And she's like, and this is Thea and Sia with some candy. I got them. And have you ever seen Full Metal Alchemist?
I haven't.
I
don't take a second to move on from that. I want to. It's if
Gods have mercy upon your soul, my man.
I know what you want.
Okay, do you know Maze Hughes as a character? Guy with glasses, obsessed over his daughter and his wife.
Is that the guy that makes the daughter into the dog?
No.
Okay,
Fuck
that's
no.
all I know.
Different guy entirely.
Okay.
Anyway, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, that's what she's doing right now. She is gushing over her kids. She has 10 different photographs that are all of her kids doing very mundane things. Like, imagine if you would. Well, no need to imagine. You're a cat owner. You know how whenever your cat is just sitting there and they're doing something that you think is just so fucking cute, you have to take a picture of it, but they're literally just sitting there?
Just literally look into the pet chat.
That's her.
Eating a piece of cheese.
Yes.
This is Sia eating a piece of cheese.
And these are the two of them beating up some schoolyard bullies.
No, it's just all of them. They're just eating cheese.
Yes.
Whether or not that's the focal point of the photo, like there's cheese somewhere.
So it's how she gets their attention to look at the camera.
Yeah, every picture just has the cheese square plastered in their forehead.
Gustav is susceptible to the cheese method.
And like one of the photos.
It's like Gustav's husband gets her attention.
And
focus.
That's supposed to go in my mouth, not on my forehead. Anyway, but yeah, and one of the pictures has Thea and Sia both, throwing lightning bolts at at a couple kids as they run away.
Oh, they can already throw lightning bolts.
Of course they can. I trained them myself.
So scary.
Oh, I mean, it's not like lightning bolts. It's like, it's stuff. Like if you know that they're basically throwing lightning-based firebolts. is what they're doing.
Gotcha.
It's
Still
not
scary.
like a legitimate
Yeah.
lightning bolt or anything like that.
Yeah.
Baby's first lightning bolt.
Man, that's scary. As like in the future, their kids are like 2, and so he's like, all right, so here's how you stab the jugular on a tall man.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. When you had posted that meme earlier, like it's like this is Soy Fame packing the kids for school. I would just imagine it's like the first day of kindergarten, and you both get called in by the teacher after school. It's like, so they had knives on them. I don't know where they got them. I gave them to them. It's important to have learn self-defense from a young age.
They pulled them on someone, and they threatened to gut them like a fish.
Well, then they shouldn't have messed with
They've
them.
taken well to their training.
Anyway, moving
They've
along.
learned well. It's like, and that's why it's like fast forward, and that's how our kids got kicked out of school
For the third
proud of
time.
Shake and Stab. I'm so proud of Shake and Stab.
Shake and stab. It's stab and shank, thank you very much.
Oh, apologies. Anyway, so he's just like watching her, and it's just like he's just like seeing her gush about her kids and even her husband, and it's just like he kind of looks at her. It's just like, that's me. Like I do that every day about the people that I love. And after a bit, he's gonna ask, Gustav, can I ask a favor? It's kind of a big ask, but
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, we're besties, right? I mean, I really enjoy your company.
Yeah. Also,
Good.
you're not as sexy anymore.
Damn it! I was hoping to do it, but I had to. Fuck. Okay.
It's a duration of an hour, yeah?
Yeah.
It's been an hour.
Shit. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, you know what? That's okay. That's on me. Well, hurtful, but that's fine. Look, it's kind of a big ask. If it's a no, then I understand. But could I know you're kind of here on, I don't know if you're on vacation or not, but tomorrow or the day after that, could I retroactively buy something from you?
What are you trying to buy, man?
What are those? I can't remember what they're called. What are those things that it's like my pistol, but like bigger, and it like uses those red plastic I think shells.
You're talking about a shotgun.
That thing.
She grins.
Could I get 2 of those, and maybe it's some ammunition, and then
2 shotguns? You can't even hold one.
it's not for me.
Oh, okay. Are you trying to do something with them? Like, she leans in. Just tell me what you want to do with them, man.
Okay. He kind of leans in close too. I want to slide them into Anna's. Oh, you haven't met Anna yet. Anna just pops out of the bag. She just like rolls out of the bag.
Oh yeah, I'm here to see fathers free.
I know. I'm messing with you.
No, wait.
I just imagine anytime either of them come out of the bag, the bones just roll out to with xylophone noise.
Yeah, just
Or not xylophone, the wooden one.
Yeah.
So yeah, she rolls out and she's like, Father, I have beaten Belle in chess.
Hey, good job.
And then you hear Belle, not really. She flipped the table halfway through.
Oh.
Anna folds her arms. I cannot lose if I do not lose.
But you don't
If
win
I
if
have
you
won.
don't win.
No, I won because my superior intellect allowed me to flip the table before I would lose, therefore making it not a loss, ergo, by proxy, a win.
Anyway, I want to put shotguns on her fists.
That's the coolest idea I've ever heard.
So like, when she like punches somebody, she could like fire it, and then the recoil just like plus they're getting punched by
Yo!
and then they get filled with lead at the same time.
Well, the kind of shotguns I have won't work for that, but you can get yourself a sawed-off shotgun, and I assume you want it to be a pump-action shotgun, so that way she can kind of like rack her own fists. That'd be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, I can get you something, man. Dude, you don't even need to pay for that. I just want to see it happen.
Are you sure? Like, I'm happy to pay for it later. I know you got a little business.
I mean, if you want to pay for it later, sure, that's cool and all, but like at the same time though, it's shotgun fists on a big skeletal plate armor lady. How cool is that?
Okay, all right, yeah. I will get you. Just tell me what I owe you. I'll put it in my notes, and then I will pay back for it. I swear.
I mean, you don't need to swear, man. I have kids around me.
Okay, I super duper promise.
Okay.
Like, something that I learned, and he pulls out his pinky and he extends it.
You're gonna pinky swear with me?
I learned from a friend that this kind of promise is unbreakable.
Oh, who said that? It was Gustav.
A friend. A friend who's no longer around.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you'll meet him again sometime, and she'll kind of like put her pinky on yours, and she'll pinky promise you.
If they're not around, what shape are they?
Are they a triangle?
Cool.
All right, so
Maybe a parallelogram. That's a hard.
if you wanted to know the price, it is 4,000 gold pieces for the shotguns.
Okay.
And then it'll be 6 gold per buckshot shell, and 3.5 gold, or 3 gold, 5 silver, for every shotgun slug. Now, keep in mind, buckshot shells and slugs are different.
Yeah. Slugs are longer range. Buckshots closer.
Yep, and I
slug is a
will...
singular pellet too.
4K per or 4K total?
4K total for a shotgun that does this.
So the other major difference between a slug and buckshot is that buckshot is a bunch of little pellets. A slug is one big one.
Yeah, it's literally literally it is a slug.
Yeah, like it's just a big round ball.
Buckshot is only 2d4. Okay.
It's 2d4, but it hits multiple people.
Fair.
I will say, if you are packing these in to a fist, I'd be willing to double the damage values to 4d6 and 4d4 respectively.
Bet. So you said it's a gold per shell?
No, it is 3 gold, 5 silver for slug, and 6 for buckshot.
Oh, and 6 for buckshot. Okay.
It hits multiple people.
Yeah. Okay. 4K for shotguns, 3.5 for slug, 6 for block. All right.
Good to know that you have someone in your party who's good with tinker tools.
That is true. But also at the same time, you could just shove the shotgun in her wrist and just morph the bone around it. But we could probably make our own shells for it. All right.
And of course, keep in mind that you will need to load the shells individually. So, and also track what fires when.
Yeah. It's like a double barrel?
No, it is a semi-automatic. Yeah, it's semi-automatic. Basically, every time she punches, she does extra damage whenever she actually hits stuff. Gotcha. Otherwise, nothing happens.
Yeah. All right. And then okay. Well, yeah. So he says, yeah. So I think we'll be here for a while. So soon, hopefully. I have an idea. You want in on a little secret?
What's the secret?
So because when it was my trip in Mirzai was weird. It was the worst time of my life, but also kind of the best time of my life. But I learned from a very valuable person, Rencois, cough cough, that they can't disarm you if you are the weapon. So I have a plan that will punch holes right into those ch-ldr-n mechs and armor and stuff.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make myself the weapon.
Are you gonna be a sorcerer too?
No, I would show you the schematics that I have. I don't think you would understand them.
Hey, come on. I'm real good at looking at pictures.
All right. And he will set the bag down and then reach out, and then he'll pull out like folded pieces of paper that are all linked with like tape, and he just kind of lays it out along the entire table that they have. And it looks like a madman wrote these schematics. It's filled with runes, glyphs, pictures. It's like there are guidance lines that like have bloated out runes, and then a line to trace where it's going. And all of these lines and these runes meet in the middle of this diagram that has a picture of his arm, and it has like kind of like the X-ray view of the arm where it shows like the inside of his arm bone, and it's like changed and not normal, where it has like an entranceway linked up to the top of his shoulder going all the way down to his palm, and then like in the middle has like an indication of like what looks like a needle. So it's just like this huge diagram and graphs of just like calculations, and like it looks like a madman wrote all of this. And he just like, it took me a day or so to think of. I mean, I was thinking about it for a bit, but to get it on paper, I need to finish one of my projects first before I work on this.
She just looks at the schematics, strokes her chin, and nods sagely. I can understand some of these words.
Well, good. So do you understand kind of the premise of it?
You got a little bone thing in your arm that's gonna shoot stuff.
Pretty much. That's the gist of it, yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. You want a shotgun in your arm?
He takes a beat. No. It's gonna be all organic material. Because I have chitin that like regenerates, so.
Oh yeah, so you can get past the metal detectors.
There are metal detectors?
Well, I mean, there are in Zenith at the very least. I don't know about other places.
That's so interesting. I can't get sidetracked by that.
I mean, if you're all bone, I don't think anyone's gonna, see that unless they X-ray you.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
You don't know what an X-ray is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's when they take a picture of you, and then they show you your skeleton.
His eyes sparkle. Really?
Yeah.
Apparently, they shoot a bunch of like invisible rays in you, and the rays go through your skin and your muscle, and they bounce off your bones, and that's how they see the bones.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I got one of myself. And she pulls out like a piece of a piece of black paper. She pulls out a literal X-ray and she puts it on the table. And you see that she has like a very normal looking-ish bone structure. But because of your experience, you would know that she's not a normal mouse folk. Like you've seen rat folk bones, you've seen mouse folk bones. These bones are not that. It looks like it looks as if her bones were stretched like taffy almost. You see calcified sections of them here and there. You would also note that more than a few of them have been broken and refixed.
Mm-hmm.
And her whole body, it looks like it's two different bone structures mixed together. Go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Okay. With his past, do I get advantage?
I would say yes.
Okay, this is rounding flat. Medicine. 17.
17. It looks like a combination of elvish bones and animal bones.
He looks like so stoked to like see like, oh my god, you could actually see people's bones without having to rip them open. And then he kind of looks at the picture and then reads it, and then his face goes from excited to kind of curious to kind of like sorrowful almost. Stuff, were you experimented on?
Huh? Me? Well, I was a designer pet at one point in time. I had a master. His name was Gustavo. And then, like, he fell down an elevator shaft and apparently died. But, like, I didn't know it at the time. And, like, I went down the elevator shaft after him. And I was a little guy. So, like, you know, I landed. Nothing hurt me. And I saw there was, like, this green goopy stuff nearby. And, like, you know, green stuff heals you, right? Well, at least that's why I thought. Now I know it's, like, red Healy potion stuff. So I grabbed a bunch of this green goopy stuff, and I smeared it all over his body to try and help him out, because he was all, like, gasping for breath. He was like, and, you know, I just put it on him, and then he went, and then, you know, he just stopped breathing. I think, like, his chest stopped moving, and I'm like, oh, he fell asleep. So, you know, I just kept smearing it on him, and then his skin came off a little bit. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I put it back on him, and then it came back off again. And then I got taller. And then, you know, I started being able to talk to him. And then I went outside, and I got struck by lightning. And I fell asleep, and I woke up on a beach.
Agatha kind of stares at her, and then slowly just kind of scoots close and just hugs her. He just gives her a hug.
Oh, thank you. She'll hug him back. she doesn't care.
Yeah, just that must have been terrifying or confusing. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's fine. You know, I got little electrical sparklies afterwards.
Yeah, and you met somebody that you really love, and you've had kids, and so I guess it worked out.
Yeah! Although no one at Zenith ever believed that I was, like, a citizen there. They're like, no, you're not a citizen, and I had, like, my ID card and everything.
That's very strange.
Well, technically I had my master's ID card, but at the same time, you know, it showed I was on there.
Yeah. Yeah. That is strange.
She leans down. Master wasn't a very good person. He called me very bad names.
I don't like my parents either.
Well, I mean, I didn't have any parents. The first thing I remember was a white lab and a bunch of people with masks looking at me and going, "Yep, this batch is fine." And they put me in a window. And I was staring out at the city of Zenith. And everything was so pretty. There was flying cars. There were people walking around talking and stuff. A couple kids came by and they said, "Hey, look at that! It's super cute!" I'm like, "Oh, of course I'm cute! Yay!" And then
Agatha tries to look at the time.
yeah. It's right. It's like 11:30.
Okay. You know, Gustav.
Oh, what?
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have business soon as well. Sorry, I've just been very busy.
Oh,
But it was really
okay.
nice. It was really nice meeting up with you.
Oh, it's nice
If
seeing
you
you
wanna,
too.
if maybe, how about this? You know sending, right?
Yeah.
So the next time you're in the city and you have the stuff, just hit me up, and then we can meet up. And then, I can just install the stuff right there.
Oh, I have like the stuff right. Shad like reaches into her bag and pulls out 2 shotguns.
Oh, you just have that on you.
Duh. I'm a weapons
surprised?
dealer.
Sorry, I'm so. Wow. Okay, I was not expecting you to have it. Cool. I guess I'll just. Do you have
I also, and she pulls out like an M16, an AK-47, 3 Uzis, and a couple pistols. I also have all these too.
it? That's a lot of stuff that shoots stuff.
I mean, that's just the stuff that I'm showing you. She waggles her eyebrows.
If I had more time, I would ask.
Oh, okay.
Save that. We'll save that for another time. Yeah, if you're fine with me, just kind of taking 10 of each, and then the 2 shotguns.
Sure thing. And she'll pull out 10 red shells and 10 blue shells. She'll lay them beside each other, and she'll point to the blue ones. These are your slugs. She points to the red ones, and these are your buckshots.
Okay. Slug is blue, buckshots right. Okay, cool, awesome.
Have
All right,
fun.
we'll start off with. We'll start off with the small amount, and then we'll obviously I will ask you if I need more.
You wanna know my recommendation, buddy?
Yeah.
Each of these here shoddy gunnies can hold like 8 shells each. So like if you're putting one in each hand, maybe you could get like, and she kind of like pulls out her notebook and flips through it. You could get 24 shells of each, and that would be enough for 3 full magazines. She smiles.
In 24 of each.
Yep.
I think we're coming into some money soon. Yeah, sure. I'll take 24 of each.
Okay. She pulls out a little box now, and she places them on the table, and she pockets everything else.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah, he'll take the boxes.
Oh, and remember, safety is here, and the thing that makes it, go from pump to semi is right here.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've been doing work with this, and he kind of pulls his gun out a little bit. This thing has been awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one.
He'll put it back in the holster, and then he'll shove the boxes of ammunition. It's like, okay, well, I gotta go. I will pay for these just when I have the money. I promise.
I trust ya.
He gives her one more hug.
You're my bestie friendy. Of course I trust you. And she'll hug you back, and then she'll look up in the air and see that her kids aren't there. Uh-oh, where'd they go?
Oh, yeah, you better find them. Say thank you, Anna.
She then looks down. Oh, and Anna's like, thank you, Gustav. And then both of you guys kind of like look down. You see there's a muffin on the table that says, kids are in the upstairs room. Oh, thank all the non-existing gods that Calvin exists.
He just nods, has Anna go back into the bag, and then he will make his way towards Dralam's tower.
All right.
To meet up with the Thief of Rains. He does on his way. He does want to ask. He does want to talk to Veronica for a moment.
I will get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
It has been a few hours. Back at the carriage. Morrigan, you emerge from your room with your scroll in question, your notation on how the spell works and how to get it to work and stuff like that.
No, it's like a small book.
Okay, the small book. Apologies.
The novel of violence.
Well, it's just one spell. It's just a very complex one.
That causes a lot of violence.
As she goes down, has the small paper-bound book, which is just a bunch of pages that have been bent in one direction and like bound with a bit of twine to look more like a zine than anything else. And he's like, "Oh, good, you're still here."
Of course I am. There was stuff to attain.
Right. So, the compass and the information on the thing Agathar wanted to know.
Oh, he already knows it.
Oh, good. She tosses the small bound paper. It's like eight or 10 pages of scrawling.
All right. She takes it
I
and
will
pockets
say
it.
that the spell is technically incomplete because there is large mathematical equations you need to put in for locations.
That's fine.
She's not necessarily giving them the one that was completed for a separate reason.
That's fine.
Okay.
It like she basically takes the book, and you see shadows kind of like rise up from her hand to engulf it before it slithers back into the palm of it and disappears. And she just nods.
Oh, okay. Here's your compass.
She'll pull out the compass and place it on the table.
Reaches out, snatches it. Good. Well, unless you have other business.
Rencois was just examining my body.
Gross. Okay. I just looked at Rencois for the last couple of hours.
Yes. We've been having a grand old time together.
You didn't make any deals, did you? Rencois.
Hmm?
Talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
You were examining her body.
And Morgan's like, for a few hours? And looks to you.
Yes.
You didn't, make any other deals, did you?
No, no other deals. And still, this is just theorizing, but it should work. The idea is, by combining these two different strands, I can essentially get them to work in tandem.
It tilt. To what end?
Well, then she'll kind of twirl a couple of fingers, a handful of like the spores. So this particular strain works. Well, it sort of propagates itself with dead tissue typically, versus this strain. She'll twiddle the other hand, and a couple more spores will whirl around. It's often used in medical practice for those who've either had recent amputations and had to have things reattached and the like bit. It essentially will take damaged tissues and will repair them to a point where they essentially will function as long as the symbiosis with the mushrooms is maintained. But the idea is that between the two of them, I should be able to essentially revive and fix dead tissue. Obviously, that won't revive, the soul within a body, but it could revive the body itself.
That would be a hell of a discovery.
I'm sure the medical practitioners would love to hear it.
Well, you
Or at
have
least
quite the
at
subject.
least the ones that don't hate, who don't, hate necromancy except when it's convenient for them, like Revivify.
Of course. I was almost expecting you to say something along the lines of them disliking mushrooms.
Well, I suppose there's those people as well.
Yes,
They're
poor
all-
Neotol.
There are always those that despise what they don't understand.
In your case, it is definitely warranted, Darkling.
And maybe not.
She's trying her best to fit in.
To what end?
To the end of making more friends. Haven't
The
you
name of
ever wanted to have more friends?
No.
I didn't
I
want the
fucking knew
friends
you
that I
were gonna
currently have.
God,
I
that
just
it felt like
fucking
an
stumbled
echo.
into them.
That literally felt like an echo in my mind because that's exactly how I heard it in my head.
No.
No.
Oh, it's because you're a sourpuss.
Coming from the
See?
walking cadaver.
See,
Hmm.
even she now. She just has a kind of half grin.
I know what you are.
Do
Trying to
you?
fluff the thing. Yes, I do.
What am I?
A Darkling.
And what's that?
A denizen of the nightmare.
Oh, you do know quite a lot.
Which is worth much. And not knowing things that make such packs would not make me worth very much.
Hmm. Worry not. There are some from where I'm from that have no interest in upsetting the status quo. Like myself.
Exactly. And she just kind of like pats Garmethi on the head.
I will say, though, you've encountered two that revel in that kind of activity.
I'm well aware.
Hmm. Are you aware of what the second one was?
Ponders for a moment. I don't rightly care.
Aw. And here I was thinking you'd be interested.
I have little use or need to make more contact with that realm.
Hmm. And what of to prevent a calamity?
I have made my pact. I have nothing left to give.
Hmm. You don't. Others do.
I can send you back.
Not forever.
Both of you stop arguing.
I'm not arguing. I was making an offer.
I was making threats.
Rencois just pouts and looks at Morrigan.
I don't know what you want from me in this situation.
Friends don't threaten friends.
We are not
Especially-
friends.
Well, girlfriends and partners of friends don't threaten friends.
I like Rencois very much. Does not mean I am bound to like all of the people she keeps as company.
Uh,
I certainly don't like Neatal, but I have yet to do her in.
I suppose. Well, Rencois.
Instead, you torment her.
I have to get my kick somewhere.
Well, Rencois, I must be on my way now. I'll return in 3 days.
We all have something to show them.
And I'll have something to give you. Something you'll very much enjoy.
Well,
Goodbye. She will stand and then proceed to leave.
Puffs.
be safe, Garmethi.
Or don't.
I
Be
always
safe,
am.
Garmethi.
Just tiredly flops into the pile of pillows in the corner of the room.
The door shuts behind her, and all the shadows go right back to normal.
You keep strange company.
Yes, you're among them.
Doesn't argue.
Just like, yeah, all right.
There was like a moment of incredulity, but just like that, it's not a hill I'm dying on.
It's like, how dare you? You're not 100% wrong. How dare you?
I can't believe I'm so offended by something that's so right.
Yeah, it's like, never have I been so offended by something I 100%.
How could you be say something so bold and so true? She just kind of looks up at you weakly from where she's like laying in this like pile of pillows with her staff across her lap.
How could you say something so controversial yet so brave?
There we go. That's the quote.
Yeah. She will approach the grump and proceed to lay down with her and curl around her.
Oh, it is well. Well, I am more happy now than I was a moment ago.
Yes, I figured you might be.
That thing settles me.
I mean, she more than unsettled me when the first few times she approached.
It's not
But
necessarily what I mean.
so what do you mean?
Fiends, Fae, they at least have some patterns. They are predictable in some fashion if you know what to look for. But aberrations, darklings are unknown. Unknowable things that tap into the threads of things in ways that are difficult to discern.
True. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you.
Does Vani have anything that she would like to say or
But
add
on the
about the thing?
But on the other hand, it goes much the same in reverse for her. We're an equally bizarre concept to her. But she wants to understand, she wants to learn. And at the end of the day, she wants to fit in, and she wants to make friends, and she wants to live a normal life.
You are going on many assumptions of her word being honest.
Perhaps. But I also go about by her action, how she conducts herself in her more normal things. For instance, the whole chalk makeup thing. I showed her weeks ago how to do makeup and try to. That one of her biggest problems was simply her outward appearance, and to try to mitigate that through makeup, and she has maintained that attempt. She wants to fit in. It's hard occupying a corpse, and her thought process, as you said, are completely foreign to those of yours and mine. There's a very good chance that she won't find herself ever fitting in.
It's like her
But
making friends is just another word for dealing in packs and taking from people things they don't realize they are losing.
yes, I believe that is a good number of her little shadow friend.
Do not make any real dealings with them or intangible things, and none of us will be able to save you.
I had no plans to make pacts like that, both for her sake and my own. If she wants to fit in, the first thing she needs to learn is that she doesn't need to make pacts to force people to be friends.
You don't know that's why they do it.
Oh, I'm sure some of them seek power, some of them seek information, some of them seek an escape from reality. The list of reasons can go.
For survival.
Exactly.
Those
The
things
list of
can't
things goes
exist
on.
in the light. Especially for this one that lives outside the new moon. They have made a lot of deals to be walking outside of that time.
And yet, she ends up making the same deal with all of them. For her end of the bargain, it's always the same thing. Friends. A twisted facsimile of what she understands friends to be, yes. But that's where me not accepting any pacts from her comes in. Teaching her what our realm's idea of friendship is, and making her realize she doesn't need those pacts. She doesn't need to deal in shadows, powers. That if she could be a more socially acceptable version of herself, that the only thing she needs to do is be herself. I don't know. Maybe I just see parts of myself. I'm not even still not exactly the budding social butterfly.
Just pats your thigh as you are wrapped around her. I only caution that I worry for you and our little family. People can look and act very kind and sweet and forthcoming. There are many who are more than willing to play the long game.
True. But there's a reason I kept at arm's distance through our original interactions. When she first met and asked if I wanted to be friends, I told her that we couldn't possibly. We had just met. The second time she asked, saying, "We've met before, so that means we can be friends now." And I, perhaps foolishly, quoted an old saying that the first time you meet someone, you're strangers. The second time, you are acquaintances. And the third time, you are friends. So naturally, she came a third time, insisting that we were now friends. I didn't want to push the issue and have her try and potentially force her hand, and she hasn't. No pact was made. I simply agreed that yes, I'm your friend, and she has left it at that. I understand your caution, and I don't. No. I have my own brand of caution with it, but at least from everything I've seen, she genuinely just wants friends. She just wants to fit in and doesn't know how.
If you are sure. I will put my trust in you.
Thank you. And I will put my trust in you that you will remind me while I'm experimenting.
I will certainly do my best. We have many a thing to worry about. And new avenues to pursue them.
Yes.
Though we are no closer to obtaining your sibling. Really.
Perhaps, but we have a direction.
Yes.
And the direction, and it's a similar direction to something we already had. I'll feel better just knowing that I'm in the vicinity. Close enough that we may hear the rumblings. Lucas tries to go on the move. Or play his hand. But for now, if we're going to war, we need to focus on finding the Archmage's apprentice.
They are safe for the moment. As such, I know. How long they will linger where they are is a different topic.
Which is why we need to get there. The last thing we need is another trail going cold.
How long are we planning on waiting before we leave then?
Well, Garmethi is returning in 3 days. Unless anyone else has plans, I don't see why we couldn't start making our way after that.
There's your moment. Maybe I could find or procure some other spellcasters to speed up the work on the caravan. certainly have the extra scratch.
If you need coin, I have mine as well.
Oh, to worry yourself not on coin. I have more than all of you put together. It is just a matter of what coin can do. It can only do so much to speed something up.
What the coin doing?
What the coin doing? Making the cart better faster.
All right. So, out of curiosity, does Vani have anything that she would like to say or add to that conversation, or just in general? Any commentary about Garmethi?
What the bunny doing though?
He is muted.
This is true.
I don't know if he's here or not.
He may not be here. He didn't say anything.
All right. Well, I will get back to that.
Nothing to be done about it.
Rip.
Gosh, Soren, I feel so bad.
This man has been stuck in a sword for hours now.
Well, I mean, he was going to be there until the morning, so.
Eh.
I mean,
Anyway.
he's quite literally getting fucked right now. So
I will finish this Thief of Rain scene, and then the night will come, the morning, and then I'll open up with Soren. So yes, you make your way to the academy, and after, of course, showing that you are indeed who you say you are, they let you in without any questions, because they're just like, well, obviously you're here to study or research or do something, right?
yeah.
So yeah, they let you in.
He inquires to see if Miss Oriana is around.
She is.
Okay. That's how he gets in.
Yeah. And, of course, as the bell tolls midnight, so to speak, you are standing in front of the serpentine tower that leads to the puzzle dungeon that you first came here to do. And with a light tap on your back, on your shoulder, you turn around and see a very particular figure. Get that art showed. Are you for real? And not have that character?
Uh-oh.
Huh. Alright. It's okay. I have a backup.
But oh, he doesn't have that one loaded either.
It's not that. Uh, what? Nah. Can't be.
I was joking. Was I actually right?
Impossible.
Apparently, I don't have that heart either.
Uh-oh.
Stop putting evil on me, Soren.
Stop putting evil on us.
No.
Like, I learned from the best, Shad.
That's my job.
I learned it from you.
I learned it from you, Dad.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Look what you made me do! Alright, give me just a second.
I learned
Thankfully.
it from the Chefly Dad.
From the Chefly Dad.
Chefly Dad.
I hate that, but I love it at the same time.
You're welcome, and I'm
if
sorry.
if you do become a father, I will address you as such.
Okay, fair enough. I will allow that.
Like that.
To file this one. Okay. That down here to the NCs folder.
Remember, kids, organization is king.
There you go.
Wow.
Behind you is a figure that is entirely covered in clothes
Mm-hmm.
and
The joke
has
doesn't land without her here.
yeah, and with this blue fur and green eyes, as they kind of just like, well, she just stares at you, and she just, waves, hello. Doesn't actually say anything.
Uh-huh. He waves back.
And then she, I have a question. What's your current outfit?
I think he's just in his normal armor attire. I think he has his hood up. He has like kind of the cloak. I think since he was kind of standing here, I think the cloak is like fully encompassing his body. So it just kind of looks like he's just this black blob almost, but he is wearing his armor. So the outside cloak is kind of covering else, but the mid one is kind of running down a little bit.
All right.
But he does turn to address her.
All right. As you kind of like turn to address her, she pulls out of her robes a very familiar looking cloak, and she just kind of like hands it to you.
Yep, he'll take it. He'll just look at it.
It is your cloak.
Oh. He just kind of looks down at himself. How did you do that?
She shrugs.
He looks up at her, just like, I mean, that's very much impressive, I have to admit. And you have very brave. You're very much wanted around here.
She nods.
I think then, is this a situation because he was also kind of mute for a bit? Is this she's mute a situation, or she's just like refusing to speak anything to like not have her voice known what it sounds like?
I would say insight.
Okay. I'm so good at these. That's at 5.
The 5? From personal experience, you believe that she might be mute.
Okay. Then kind of turns his head curiously, but just kind of gives a little nod. Then he starts using the thieves' cant, like the hand sign language for thieves' cant. Just like, is this more comfortable?
You see this lithe tail behind her immediately just like perk up, and she seems to smile beneath her robes before she before she immediately starts signing at you. Hand signing immediately, just a rapid series of gestures, which you take to mean, oh, you know thieves can't. Nice.
He will sign back. I learned a thing or two.
She just grins. Interesting, very interesting. Most people don't know sign language.
The person who I learned this from knew it, so that's how I learned.
So what you want?
To politely say, have like some sort of agreement. Maybe, I kind of need my things to protect my family.
She just waves a hand like, oh, Pshaw. And, and she kind of just like... You see her kind of lift her hands up in a shrug. She has Veronica in her left hand. And then she kind of like looks. She looks at it and she's like, "Oh, look what I have here." And then she'll twirl it and hand it back to you.
He'll take it. It's just like, okay.
She'll sign at you. Stop having expensive gear where someone can easily grab it.
He'll continue signing. It's just like, well, if I put it in my bag of holding, then I lose everything if that gets taken.
She taps her chin. And then goes and then signs at you. You're right about that. She kind of like you see the same hand that she's tapping her chin with. She's like, you're right about that. And she kind of like, as she moves her hand away from her chin, your bag is now in that hand.
Can I?
And she holds it like a skull, like the I knew him Horatio, while looking at it.
Can he? I think he knows that she's using the invisible mage hand trick. Can he try it on her?
You may certainly do so.
All right, I will fucking try with disadvantage.
Go ahead, sleight of hand it, man.
Oh shit, 24.
24. Okay. All right. What are you trying to get?
She has a bow on her back, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, actually, no. She does not have a bow. She does not have any visible weapons. My fault.
Okay. I think then he would try to take something that is in a spot where it's hard to get, I guess, because she is a thief, so she knows kind of where to put said items if she doesn't want to get picked.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he is gonna go for something that I don't see anything on her, so it's like it's hard to.
There are things that you can assume are on a person, like a pouch of coins or, articles of clothing. Obviously,
Yeah.
Can
I? Is she wearing a belt?
Yes, she is.
Can I take the belt?
Sure, I'll let you do that.
Alright.
I will say though, because this is the belt specifically, it's a bit harder to do that. I am going to give her the chance to resist.
Okay. I mean, she took his cloak off, and
yeah,
I didn't get a chance to resist.
This is very fair, but this is a master thief who got the jump on you. However,
fair, I guess.
However, do manage to get that belt.
Okay. And then, when she is like looking at the bag, kind of ho-hum, she looks back and he's holding the belt, and he kind of signs with one hand, like this.
She laughs silently, and she kind of like holds up a hand, like high five.
She feels an invisible hand high five it.
she'll high five the invisible hand, and she'll sign to him. Yeah, maybe not exactly like that, but something similar. And she'll hand you, and she'll kind of like hold out a hand for her belt, but also offer you your bag at the same time.
Yeah, they'll do a prisoner exchange.
Yeah, they exchange the stuff. She puts the belt on her. She puts the belt on her on her waist again.
Yeah.
And then she kind of holds up a finger, just like pause. She then reaches into her robes, and she pulls out a mason jar that has... It looks like it has a gray fog inside of it. She hands it to you.
Okay, he'll take it and kind of look at it.
She'll then kind of like lift her hands up and start wiggling her fingers as she kind of like wiggles. She wiggles her fingers and she slowly lowers her hands, like wiggle, 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 wiggle.
He looks at it curiously. He looks at her, kind of confused. Is this like a jar of endless fog or something?
She shakes her head.
You want me to inspect this?
She shakes her head. She then taps her chin, and then looks up and notes that it is indeed raining a bit. She just kind of like snaps her fingers and points upwards like, ah! And then you see her reach up towards the sky and make a clutching gesture as it stops raining.
He just kind of like wide-eyed.
And then you see her pull out a mason jar and quickly stuff her hand in it and then let go and pull it out before capping it, as she now holds a mason jar that has a gray fog-like substance inside of it.
You can steal clouds?
She gives you a really look. She kind of like taps a nearby wanted poster, tapping the title of her, tapping the title specifically.
How funny would it be if it's like the wrong wanted poster?
You know what? Here, let me actually roll. Let me roll a d100 on that. You gonna call high or low, buddy?
Low.
All right, it is the right wanted poster.
Okay.
Oh, man, it'd been so funny if it was another one.
Yeah. He's like, how was I supposed to know that was literal?
She shrugs.
I guess the names are supposed to be literal most of the time. I mean, I am the Lord of Bones, but I'm not like, I can't, like, it just like, does like the gimme hands towards like her legs, like, I can't just steal your bones.
She makes a defensive gesture like, ooh, no. Don't take my bones.
Yeah, see, exactly. I don't want to even do that.
She then taps her chin and looks upwards, as if pondering, if you did take my bones, could I take those back?
If I took your bones, I don't think you would be doing much moving.
She then wiggles her fingers and kind of gestures like, I only need these.
Oh, that's true. I don't want to test that. So obviously
she makes a gesture like, I don't want you touching it either. They're my bones.
Yeah, they are right where their rightful place. I don't want any of that.
But yes, Agathar, you have a bottled rain cloud.
I guess. Well, thanks. I guess. I mean, you can let me keep it.
She nods. She then kind of like taps her belt.
Ah. I'm sure not a lot of people was able to pull that off, and he puts the cloud away.
She holds up 4 fingers. And then she'll wiggle her pinky finger and wink at you.
I said pot of crowns, pot of clouds, rain clouds, I should say. Yeah, I assume that he's like been speaking to her in Thieves' Cant this whole time.
Of course.
And he's like, oh, so I'm one of 4.
She nods.
Well, I will take that. Hey, do you want to go a bit more? I mean, private? We could keep chatting. I mean, it's, I am very curious now. Maybe you could teach me a thing or two.
Taps her chin. Looks up and
a tick for tack. I go unaccosted in hopefully my future home, and I learn a thing or two from you.
She taps her chin and looks you up and down before kind of like giving an over-exasperated sigh and just shaking her head.
Fair enough.
She'll then sign to him. My techniques are different than yours.
Yeah, I did learn from arguably the best assassin on this face of the planet.
She then nods her head like, yeah.
So I am a little biased.
She then holds up four fingers, and this time she wiggles her ring finger.
She's number 2.
That would be 3.
I see.
If you're going
She's
from
number 3.
from right to
Oh,
left.
I see. Ring finger. Sorry, I don't know why I thought about middle finger. Ring finger. It's like, she's number 3. Man, 2 people stealing from you. Are you losing your edge? She kind of like says with a shitty grin.
She folds her arms across her chest and just frowns at you.
She kind of giggles. I'm kidding.
She then like she holds that serious gaze for a minute as if she's about to do something, but then she just kind of like immediately just like cracks, starts laughing, and just kind of like waves her hand at you, just like whatever.
Well, this has been, honestly, it is nice to meet you. I have a lot of enemies, and I try to make friends as much as I can. So, this is I thought about. I don't know. It's I don't know what I'm telling you. I think I'm just rambling at this point.
She nods.
Well, I'm sure not a lot of people would get an audience from you, and it seems
she nods.
Well, yeah. Here I am, and you came for a reason. Is there any particular reason besides the fact that we were able to get my stuff back from you?
She shakes her head.
Right.
She then snaps her fingers and go as if remembering something, like and then she reaches into her bag and she pulls out another mason jar, but this one has a ball of electricity rumbling around inside of it. She hands it.
For me?
She shakes her head. Then she makes like she kind of like puts her left hand to her teeth and kind of makes a little.
I don't know what that means.
Squirrel.
I assume squirrel.
Oh, it's for her. All right.
Yeah.
I can give it to her.
She nods.
Yeah. He'll take it from her if she'll let him take it, and then
She'll let him take it.
okay. Well, two gifts. This is awesome. He looked at her and then well, you have given me so graciously 2 gifts. He just kind of starts patting himself and goes into in his bag, and he's just like, well, do you want me to make you something? I can make you a little something.
She kind of like looks at him like, oh.
I mean, I would say I could make you like a lockpick, but I don't think you need lockpicks.
She snickers and just shakes her head.
Are you usually unarmed? I know you're.
She nods.
On the yeah.
She actually holds up a finger and she'll kind of like touch her chin a couple times before nodding, and she'll kind of like she'll wave her hand, and well, Veronica's back in her hand now. And then she will kind of like lift it up and bring it down with all the force she can muster on your head. And what happens is you feel it go boop, and that's it. And then you see, and then you see that same force like resonate back up along Veronica, along her arm, and make her kind of like vibrate in place like a fucking cartoon character, just before she stops. And then she kind of like lifts it off your head and hands it back.
Yeah, not particularly physically strong.
She shakes her head and just she'll she'll wave her hand again, and this time your dagger is in her hand. And she makes kind of like a stabbing gesture, like towards you, will you let me?
Oh, I think I understand. You made a deal with something.
She shakes her head.
Oh.
And then she kind of like
Okay.
holds up the hand with the dagger and makes a dropping gesture.
Okay. He'll just hold up his hand like, okay, you can stab it or something.
She'll then kind of like stab the knife into your hand, but like it doesn't go in. It just kind of like stops at the surface and just kind of like pushes it instead.
Huh.
She then kind of like takes it, waves it around in front of you, and then holds it between two fingers before you watch as those two fingers close in on nothing. The dagger is gone. And then she opens them back up and there it is again.
Huh.
She then kind of like rolls it like a coin in her hands and hands it back to you held side.
He'll slowly take it. Does it like stay curled up?
No, there was no damage to it. Like, you know that coin trick that people can do where they like roll the coin along their knuckles?
Oh, right.
She does that with your dagger before handing it back.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm trying to follow.
It's okay. If you would like, you may insight.
Okay. Because we both know sign language.
Yes, and I'll give you a flat roll on this.
Alright, insight. I'm so famously good on insight. Ooh, well, that was almost a 4. 16.
Okay, with a 16, you get the sense that she gave it up.
I see. Okay.
And then you think back to your own personage and your own skills bracket.
Got it. It's a prerequisite for a skill. Or something like that.
Basically, she exchanged the ability to ever hurt anyone for super thievery.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I can kind of respect that.
But now you kind of understand why she cannot teach you her techniques.
Yeah, entirely different fields.
She nods.
Yeah, he's like, weirdly, I kind of respect that.
She then shrugs, and she makes like a couple stabs and just shakes her head, and kind of like makes a pickpocketing gesture and just nods her head, effectively saying, "I don't need to kill people to have fun picking pockets."
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes total sense. I understand about giving stuff up. That's for sure. He just kind of looks at his hand, kind of flexes it a little bit. He thinks from it. Well, do you want anything in particular? Then do you want your semi face to be seen? Do you want like a half mask?
She shakes her head and seems to snicker at that. She will instead just offer a hand.
Yeah, he'll take it.
She'll shake your hand, and then just kind of like pat your hand with the other hand. Just one of those. There you go. And then she'll shrug and just kind of make a gesture like, "Yeah, that's all I needed. That's all I really want."
Okay. Well, if I'm ever in town, feel free to say hi, I guess. I really like this little interaction of ours. Kind of fun. I will say, pickpocketing is kind of fun.
She nods emphatically.
When I was in Mirzai, we got our stuff taken. and I was able to. And I think he goes on a little bit like his little like stealth mission, not only to like taking all of the weapons from the guards' noses as they were like literally in a meeting, and kind of breaking and entering a highly secured debt lord tower. So he kind of shares that story.
She is completely enraptured by these stories. Just one of those things of like, have you ever seen, like, whenever you're talking to like a kid about something that they think is like really cool, how their eyes just shine brightly?
I activated her hyper focus.
Yes, you did. And she'll kind of like interrogate you a little bit. Like, not like, that sounds a lot more aggressive. She'll ask questions about like your technique, about what you did, about how you went about doing it, which items you went for first, and so on and so forth. And she'll ask you about security precautions. And whenever you're like, oh, there were like a bajillion glyphs of warding going up along the tower, she just laughs.
He's like, I wish I was kidding. There was really that many.
She then kind of like taps her chin and just kind of like pulls out a mason jar with a floating glyph inside of it. She kind of like points. She taps at it like this.
He laughs. I think at this point they found like a seat or something, so he's like sitting. They're like chatting like old buds.
I don't know what you mean by a seat. She pulled two chairs.
She just pulled 2 chairs out of the ether.
Yeah.
And he just kind of laughs like, yeah, kind of like that. But you see, I have to avoid them so I don't get incinerated.
She snickers and just kind of like gives you one of those looks of like one of those like hand waves, like, imagine being incinerated by spells.
He just he kind of exaggerated rolls in his eyes.
She'll then kind of like give you a little phrase of like, that's why you learn how to dodge.
Oh, I've learned a lot since then. I was able to change some stuff, so I will be dodging efficiently soon. Not as well as you, obviously, but you know, at least I could compete.
She holds up 5 fingers. Big grin on her face beneath that mask.
In 5 levels.
If you would like, you could insight that.
Absolutely.
Straight roll.
That's a 2.
Ew. You know what she means by 5. But it's one of those things of maybe you could infer something.
Me as a player, I don't fully know what she means by 5. He'll just kind of I think he'll tilt his head a little bit, like 5.
She then kind of like taps her chin. She makes like a sidestepping gesture, like a little like lift, like a little move her head to the left, and she puts one down. She then moves her head to the right, puts another one down, and then she ducks, puts another one down. She kind of like hops up in her chair, lands on the top of it, like the top of the back of the chair, puts another one down, and then she kind of like rolls backwards into a standing position and puts another one down.
Blink, blink.
As if evading attacks.
I see. Oh, yeah, I'm not at that point yet.
She shrugs.
Not at... I can kind of... Wait. Oh, I can do that. Wait a minute. We're level 11, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I think I can do that. Evasion is 7th level, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, shit. I thought that was like a next level thing. Oh, I'm dumb.
This is something else entirely, though.
I see. He's just like, I mean,
You get the sense that she
Another-
effectively. You get the sense that she effectively has 5 reactions.
he's just like, oh, that's cheating.
She smirks, and just gives you a finger crossbow like, "Ay."
But I sure do hope that you know the shield spell.
She shakes her head, shrugs, gives you a "don't need it" gesture.
Oh, so you can evade magic missiles?
She shakes her head, and she makes a gripping gesture.
Oh, you can catch them.
Nods.
That is
Like, I'm
cheating.
built different.
Yeah, quite literally. Oh, that is cheating.
She actually makes like a come at me gesture.
Okay. Does he even have that prepared?
It doesn't matter. We'll say for story purposes, you can just cast it.
All right. Yeah.
God's
I do
had
have
to make
magic
me
missiles
mute
prepared,
because
actually.
I'd be
What
too
was that?
powerful otherwise. God's had to make me mute because I'd be too powerful.
Yeah.
They actively nerfed me.
But I keep evading the patch notes.
I keep evading the patch notes. But yes.
He'll cast. He'll like, okay, since you're asking for it, he'll cast magic missile.
All right. She reaches out, and you watch as your spell disappears into a little pocket hole and just gone.
He's just like I mean, obviously he looks amazed because it's like here's another fucking expert in their field, and it's like not necromancy, so I don't know anything else, so this is a new thing, and he's just like, God, that is cheating. That's so cool.
She'll then make a small circle with her hand, ball up a fist, and then just release her fingers towards you as those magic missiles fly back out towards you.
Okay,
And
I cast shield.
oh no, there's really no need.
Oh.
And basically they all just kind of like boop 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 boop, like they do no damage to you at all whatsoever, but they just kind of like boop you in the
Right, 'cause
face.
She can't hurt people.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he throws up shield like
He throws it up reflexively, and they just kind
I
of
think
like
that's a reflex.
yeah. He throws it up reflexively, and she just snickers, just like.
I see. Well, that's a reflex. Come on, I've almost died so many times. I have to use it.
She pats him on the head a couple times with a solemn nod, just like, I understand.
You really must have given up a lot to get to that level.
She shrugs.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for, hanging out, I guess.
She leans back in her chair, and the chair itself leans back as well and then she kind of like rocks it to the right a bit, and it balances on one leg as she just kind of like reclines. And just, she smiles, signs, I had fun too. And
You get
then
to hang out with a lot of people?
she nods. And she adds, she kind of like, you see her rotate her left hand, and upon a full rotation, you see there's a ring on her ring finger.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, she rotates it back around, and it's gone.
Yeah. So you did get caught.
She grins, gives you one of those, in the best way, kind of gestures.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling.
She'll then add, it's great to have someone on the same level.
Keeps you sharp.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. I hope I get to that one day. But I mean, you know,
She married a cop.
oh my god.
Only
The
you
ultimate
knew.
game of keep away.
the romance version of Blue's Clues.
That's the trope for the super thieves, right? Like that.
I think
That's
so.
fucking. It's Kaito Kid. It's Sly Cooper.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of the thief and the cop have a thing for each
Yep.
other.
Hell yeah, I'm
Anyway,
into it.
but yeah, I would say the two of you have a lovely conversation,
Mhm.
and at the end she does have to leave, go
Mhm.
off on her own and whatnot. How long do you stay there talking?
I think probably for an hour. I if you will allow me to, I want to, as we're parting ways, I want to slip something into where she keeps some items. Like he wants to put something in
Okay,
a pocket.
you want to
Yeah.
reverse pickpocket. All right then, go
I
ahead
want
and
to
roll the
reverse
check.
pickpocket. All right. There you go, 25.
Hey, look at that! All right, you managed to reverse pickpocket it. What are you putting in your pockets?
He at one point made his own trading card from like
Oh
Gustav
my!
has one. he made his own. So on one end, it's kind of like in sketch. Like he kind of made it quick. Actually, we'll see. This was. Can I roll for quality and then not do it at disadvantage because he didn't make it today?
Sure.
All right, cool.
I'll even let you have advantage because you had a couple days.
Hey, okay, we'll do it one more time. 26.
They
for
are
quality.
they're very good looking cards.
Cool. The front card shows him at like a workbench, picking clearly like inspecting like a pile of bone as he's like studying something, and then below it it's kind of laid out in the same of like the rest of the trading cards. It just says Agathar, and then on the back it shows him in it's not entirely 100% accurate because Belle and Anna are in the background of it. It's kind of the commission that I got recently of
Yeah.
Avatar, the big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's the back is that.
Okay. The back is that with Lord of Bones beneath it, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Hell yeah.
So that's the card.
That's what's up. All right.
And he'll head home after that because he is fucking tired.
All right. Well, you all make your way back home except for Soren. And Vaelyn, Bonnie, buddy, Drav.
What?
Hi.
Hey, look at that. Did you want to do anything? Say
No.
anything?
Not particularly.
Interact with anyone?
Not really. I may or may not have dozed off for a bit around when...
That's fine. That's fine.
Around an
Yeah.
hour ago when we called your name like 12 times.
It's all good, man. It's all good. All right. Well, the next day comes all the same, and we go to Soren, or should I say Migi?
Okay, so she hasn't relinquished his body yet.
It's not that she doesn't want to. Well,
She didn't
Let's-
have the chance to.
let's be fair. She doesn't want to because she likes being alive. But she did promise. And it isn't that she doesn't want to keep her promise, it's that she can't. She doesn't know how. But basically, like, she wakes up And she's just kind of like Soren, you get back into contact, and your body is sore. And Migi's like, why does it hurt so good?
Is Soren able to communicate with her?
Yes, this is her picking up the swords.
He probably felt everything, right?
Yes.
Am I correct? He goes, I don't know. I didn't think she was capable of that. But whatever it was, I didn't see anything.
Soren, my legs. I can't feel them properly.
Can you at least walk?
I can walk. Oh, she's still asleep. I'm gonna say goodbye.
I can walk when she lets go of me.
I am too scared to move.
She'll then kind of like hook you to her waist and just walk over and just kind of like give Miss Betty the Samba Queen a hug, wake her up a little bit and go, hey, I gotta go now, and I have to, switch places back with Soren, and he needs to be back at the caravan, and
Ah, yes, I understand, little one. Danced well last night. Too well.
Migi's gonna blush and just go, ha ha, you danced amazingly too.
Yes. Make sure to pay me another visit, little one, when you get the chance.
She winks. Oh, yes. Yes. And she'll slowly back away and walk out as Miss Betty falls back asleep again. Once outside, Migi is just like, okay, awesome. So, boss, how do I give your body back?
Well, how did you end up taking it?
We were meditating, and then I resonated with you, and then we swapped.
So what you did wasn't intentional then?
No.
Alright, well, let's find a place to sit down and try to recreate it. That's the best
Alright.
thing we can do at the moment.
Should we go back to the Zen Garden, or just somewhere else?
Probably a good idea.
Okay. And, she'll then begin hobbling her way back over to the carriage.
She'll hear Soren going, because he's feeling it too. The hells did you do last night? You know what? Don't tell me yet, because then everybody in Deepwood's probably going to hear it.
Yeah. Let's just say there's gonna be a couple new issues soon. She smiles.
A couple new issues.
She means of our series, man.
Oh, I thought you meant issues as in problems. All right, never mind.
Nah, dude. What?
No, let's just continue back to the wagon, please.
Oh, having a body is pain. But it was worth it.
Aye. So, have you taken any more? Has this given you any more consideration to what I had offered you before? Should I ever find a way to do it?
Yes. But I'll need to get, Hidari in here first before I make any decisions.
Of course. Well, we could discuss it when we get back to the caravan.
Of course. And the three of you walk, and eventually, about a 15-20 minutes works out of most of the soreness, but it's still there. And then you arrive at the carriage again. And Miki just kind of like opens the door. I would imagine at this point in time, Percival and Rencois are probably both awake. Vanya is probably awake as well. The three of you are having breakfast. To describe Soren as he walks in, Soren has dark rings under his eyes. He looks emaciated almost. And his clothing is very disheveled. And he is walking, like, with a wide stance.
Well, I at least know that Miggy is more... What's a good word for this? Not as thick-headed as you are when it comes to the ladies?
I'm still in here.
Yes, I figured.
Yeah. Oh, are those biscuits?
They are?
She kind of like looks at Soren, or her sword. Can I eat biscuits and sausage and stuff?
Sure, go ahead. Enjoy it while you
We
can,
also have-
because I need to take my place back.
Okay.
We also have huckleberry jam.
What's that?
It's jam made from huckleberries. What do you
It's
think?
jam.
What? No, I mean, like, what's a huckleberry?
A berry.
Yes.
It's a type of berry.
Oh,
Type of berry.
I've never seen those before. All right. She waddles over, takes a seat. Better.
Sore.
Very.
Stretched out.
Yes, very. We met the Samba Queen.
That explains the stretching out.
Yes. I have so much new material to work with. She'll then just her plate is just basically, I take a roll, I take sausage, put it on the roll, I take the jam, put it on the other side of the roll, put that on the sausages, and then I sprinkle bacon over the top of it, and I put eggs on the plate as well, that I then scoop the eggs. Like, she basically mashes everything together into a food so she can eat it all at once.
Just the Kirby inhale. Just.
Yeah, pretty much. Agathar, you are, of course, awake, and, you woke up in Soy Fang's embrace, obviously.
Yeah.
Snuggles.
Yeah.
And she said she'll be down for breakfast in a bit.
Uh-huh.
And of course you're probably downstairs, or running downstairs and just being like, "Oh, look, everyone's there, including Soren, who looks like shit."
Yeah. Yeah. There was a hesitation. I was just like, "No, I don't want to move." But he's also like, "I'm also hungry." So yeah, he goes downstairs and he kind of looks around. Now Agathar looks refreshed and tired. He's back at level 1 exhaustion. And he sees Soren and she's like, "Oh, hey, Miki? Soren? Sorry, Miki?
Still Migi.
Hi.
We're gonna Zen garden it up in a little bit.
Cool. You guys missed a lot."
Oh. She'll put Soren on the table. You should probably touch this and catch him up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm eating right now.
Cool. He'll pick up the sword.
All right.
Soren?
Hey, there's a voice I haven't heard in a while.
Hi. I'm starting to get worried about you guys. You guys didn't come back.
You should
Well,
touch him to the other two so they can hear too.
The other... Oh, like Hidari as well?
No, like Morrigan and Rencois over here.
Oh.
And Vani even, probably. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, he will just kind of just shrug and he'll just hold out Soren's sword in. And he'll just like, okay, I guess Regal can touch him. I thought it was like a one-on-one thing.
Why are we doing this?
So we all can talk to him, I guess.
To Soren, just put them right in the body.
That's gonna take a minute or two, or
It's
an
you know,
hour.
it's,
I don't know.
we'll figure that out. Anyway, Soren, we have a bit of a situation.
Before you
What have we
continue,
done?
before you continue, Rencois, Vani, do either of you want to touch the Soren sword to, be involved in this conversation?
Sorida.
Sure.
Sorden.
All right. Rencois is. Is Morgan also wanting to?
I will touch this sword.
Okay. And is Vani also wanting to?
Vani got pretty much all the information from the night prior, so she's probably just going to focus on eating.
Okay.
I think we look back at the sword and there's a fresh hand in it. I think because Amalia's touching it just to fit in.
Yes, she
Can
is.
I eat that sword? No!
No, she already knows she can't eat this sword. But she's still touching it because she wants to be involved.
Hey, Amalia.
Hey.
All right. So, Soren, we have a bit of a situation, but we're dealing with it as we come.
When do we don't have a situation?
Unfortunately, I hate how right you are. Vaelyn was forced to take a job for Lucas, so he's not in the city anymore.
So the sword starts just like shaking.
Yeah. I know.
These are treacherous vibrations.
Migi looks over to the sword like, oh, I didn't know. I know we could do that.
No, probably not. That would have to take a lot of wrath to do.
Oh.
This is pure anger.
Where is he? What's happened? What has Lucas done with him?
We don't know. He's apparently in. I'm pulling up my notes. Shalshana in Viori.
Wow, how
He's
convenient.
there. Yeah, I know. Well, somewhere we're gonna have to end up, but I talked with, of course, also Bethany was here, and I talked with her.
I'm guessing that's how you learned where Vaelyn was.
Actually, no. I did learn a couple of things. That's how I learned that he was gone. We talked with someone named. Should I say the? Should I say the name? Is that a trigger word or something? He just looks at Rencois like, "Can I say the name and not have bad things happen?"
Rencois' darkling friend. The bird with the arrow in their chest.
Well, she doesn't have the arrow anymore.
I've met her once.
You did?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she wanted to try to be my friend about the moment I joined Vaelyn and Rencois.
Huh.
In fact, it was the first night, I believe.
Huh. Well, we got information from her. She's some sort of information broker. Kind of.
Are the travelers darklings then?
No,
I wouldn't be.
this is not a traveler.
She just dwells in shadows and secrets.
Yeah. So we know that Vaelyn is doing a job for Lucas. I can assume he probably strong-armed Vaelyn to do it for him. Because if he doesn't going to do it, he was going to make Vani do it. So they made him, or making him do something. They said, Bethany said that he will be ready in a month or so when he's able to come back. But we're going to Viori anyway, so we might run into him.
Well, that makes that simple, doesn't it?
Yeah. But we can't involve the Archmages.
Of course, I wouldn't expect Lucas would allow that to happen.
Yeah, I know. So we at least know where he is. We don't know what he's doing, but whatever he is doing is not going to be good.
I don't expect it to be.
Yeah.
So,
So it's now sounding like we should probably be moving sooner rather than later. About what time do you expect we're going to be able to move out?
Well, Mori still has some upgrades to the cart they want to make, and Garmethi will be returning in about 2 days for a little project I'm working on for her.
All right, well, that gives me a few days to, at least a couple days to go do a little bit of shopping myself and to request the help of one of me fellow linchpins here. So this all started when this whole body switch thing started when I was just as a you know gesture of goodwill and just wanting to be nice and kind to Enwyn, tried to show her how I meditate, and then Megan and I just started resonating. But I was I think I can explain it better. I'd much rather explain it to one of you two, either Rencois or Aggie. Probably Aggie, but since he and I are closer. But
Oh, I'm
there's
ch-ldr-n, eh?
well, you're not a linchpin,
Thank you.
as at least as far as I know. With the rate that
Good. I don't.
linchpins are popping up in this, with the rate linchpins are popping up in this party, it's only a matter of time before we discover you're one too, eh?
Yeah, I don't need to cheat
I
to get
I
power.
don't want to.
I would
don't want
certainly
to be-
hope I am not one of you. No offense.
Love you
I'm
too,
not
Maury.
one. I don't want to be one.
Soren just says, "Love you too, Maury," and you could hear the smile. He's clearly being jocular, but yeah, he basically says, I just need a linchpin to help because I've noticed something about myself in yesterday's meditation that's a bit troubling.
well, I mean, obviously, I would love to help, but I have a lot of projects that I want to at least try to get done before we get into Viore. So maybe is it like physically intensive training, or is it a bit more mental? Because you know me, I can't really sit in one place for very long.
You know how to meditate though, right? That's pretty much all I need.
Oh, well, I mean, sitting in one place and vibrating isn't really meditating, I don't think.
Who said anything about vibration? That's reaching an excited state. That's the opposite of meditation.
Yeah, I can't really meditate very well.
His ADHD won't allow him.
My trauma won't let me. It's just like I mean, I try, but I'm not very good
Just
at it.
sits there. Wow, the back of my eyelids are really dark.
Isn't that interesting?
It's like, it's hard
Isn't
for
it
me
weird
to
that
sit
you've never
still.
seen the inside of your own eyelids, even though you're looking at them, but because there's no light, you can't see them?
Is it also really interesting? You can't see the inside of your eye, even though it's just refracting lights.
What if you write something on the back of your eyelids? Can you see it when you sleep?
If I install cameras instead of my eyes, do you think I could still see?
Yes.
His fucked up curiosity.
But yeah, Soren's gonna be like, well, if you'd want to give a try, maybe a little bit of meditation can help to center you. I can teach you how I do it. I've already shown you a few steps back in Mirzai, but
Yeah. That's what I've tried to do, but the decentralization kind of helps motivate me to getting work done, I guess. I don't know.
that's a good way to focus it.
Well, I guess when I get a moment, I could try. Yeah.
Right, and if you can't, then I suppose I can ask Rencois for help.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she'd be happy to help. She meditates all the time.
Roll an insight check,
Sure.
everybody.
Ooh. Oh
Okay, I
Never
thought it was gonna land on
mind.
a natural one. I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. 17. Oh,
Wait,
I mean, you're a
You're-
halfling, but here's the thing: do you want to take the luck token instead?
I will take the token because I don't think Morgan technically gives two shits.
Oh,
hurtful but fair.
oh.
So Rencois just misses it a little bit, but Agathar can hear that there's a little bit of reticence in his voice when he says that he could enlist Rencois for help.
Okay.
Reticence?
A
Yes.
little bit of reticence.
No, I'm
That is
asking
a
for
word.
a definition.
Oh,
doesn't know the word.
just like he seems like there's like a hint of
Hesitation?
hesitation, like reticence. I
Okay.
don't like I
Okay.
don't think it's a good idea, but if it's it's not a good idea, but if it's the only
Got
method I
it.
have open to me.
Okay. Carry on. Carry
So
away.
so yeah. So Rencois, if Aggie can't help, would you mind? We just have to
course.
meditate together.
Of course. I don't mind at all.
All right. As soon as one of you can, if it's all right. It's
Yeah. It will. Is it sooner rather than later? Is it when you have your body back?
I probably don't need my body back, but I would like to be in it. It would help me to. I know how to center myself in that thing, not in this.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Plus, I want my boyfriend back.
I'd like to have my muffin back too.
Eh.
Gross.
Your muffin?
he turns a little red. Yeah.
Miggy finishes polishing off her plate of whatever the fuck it was that she just ate, and she kind
A
of
plate of yes.
yeah, a plate of yes. She then turns and just like stands up, and she'll take Soren back and go up. Well, she won't take him back. Like she'll kind of like put a hand out, like, you guys done with your event? You're done with your conversation over here?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I want to talk to them. I mean, I have a little bit more, but you can take him back, I guess.
Well, you can come up to the room if you want.
Sure.
In fact, when Miki and I are switching back to our places, having you there would probably help. I might be able to see what I need to see.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to help.
All right. Also, before we go, she'll kind of like get in front of you, Agathar, and she'll kind of like
Mhm.
put her hand under your chin, and just kind of like lift you up, like lift your head up, and lean in almost as if for a kiss, and she'll kind of like hold it there, and then she'll let go and nod. Okay, I got the vision now. Thank you. And she'll just walk away.
And he is still even redder. You're welcome.
Yeah, I just had to make sure that Hidari got a good look at the blushing kobold.
I could have done that. I could have done that if you gave me my body back.
It's already
Yeah.
effective.
Yeah, but your body isn't back yet, and I was thinking about it at this point in time, so I figured it might as well.
That's efficiency. I can respect that.
Yeah, it would have been better if I could have gotten a kiss on him, but I didn't want to go that far.
What?
And this conversation carries on up the stairs.
Yeah, as he's like walking back upstairs, I think he has like a single a conversation with Soren, and he's just so what was sorry, I'm recoiling from whatever that was. Are you okay? Are you doing good? I mean, how are you feeling? I mean, you're in a sword.
Migi will just tap the sword to you so you can actually hear and understand and read.
Yeah. I mean, I think he just takes it if she doesn't mind. I think he'll just like take it out of the sheath or something.
I mean, she doesn't mind. She'll hand it to him with the sheath and everything.
Okay, yeah, he'll take it so that he can have a private conversation with Thorin.
So yeah, Soren will reply, "It's kind of weird. I'm still like fully here. I have my body in this space, but it's not my body, if that makes sense. It's like being in a dream almost. But it's this, you should see this place. It's fully furnished and it has some really good decor and architecture to it. It's
Yeah,
quite calming."
We also
You'll have
have rice
to-
cakes, man.
Oh,
Aye, they have rice cakes too. They're
Wow.
really good.
We also have
Oh.
jelly donuts too. She holds up a rice ball.
Hi, Hidari. I don't think we've talked.
Right,
Oh.
Hidari, this is Agathar. Agathar, this is Hidari.
What? Really? No, I could have never have guessed that, man.
I'm just introducing you two. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, really?
I hope I was a comforting presence when I grabbed you from that tower.
You're fine, dude. It was cool. It's chill.
I was kind of hoping to talk to you guys then, but I think you guys had a lot going on.
Oh, we did. I think the reason I can talk to you now, man, even though we're, like, not attuned or anything like that, is because, like, our boss's soul is, like, still attached to his body, man. So, like, he's on, like, a different level than us.
I guess more soul stuff. Yeah, it's probably like the same thing with me and Toy.
In a higher
Or
level,
similar.
and yet I still managed to get evicted from my body.
Oh, I
There's
mean...
There's a smile behind it. You can, like, again, he's being jocular.
I mean, fair enough, dude, but, like, at the same time, man, you gotta just, like, kind of go with the flow sometimes, man.
And I did. And I might be a little bit more careful about doing it in the future, to be honest.
Dude. Just
Yeah,
chill.
maybe a heads up would be nice.
I mean, hey, man, it all worked out in the end, didn't it?
I mean, fair, but next time I might stumble into the embrace of not my lover, if that makes sense.
Oh, nah, dude. Me and Miki wouldn't do that to you, man. That'd be, like, fucked up, dude.
No, not like you guys doing anything. I might not know it's you when I do something.
Oh, like, nah, dude. Like, if you, like, tried something, like, we would tell you, man.
Okay.
It isn't
Well,
like we're
accent.
not gonna let you embarrass yourself, man.
Alright, cool. Well, at least there's that.
There goes my hope for a funny afternoon.
Like, dude, we're chill, man.
Hey,
if you're ever concerned or worried, just listen for the accent.
That is true.
I am concerned as to why one of them has a bro accent.
He shrugs.
Wait. Oh, Morgan's followed them upstairs?
I thought we were all touching the blade. Oh no.
This is after.
Yeah.
This is
Never
after.
mind. No, I have not followed them. That would be weird, Morgan.
It would be funny.
I have more things to say to you.
None of it's pleasant.
None of it pleasant.
Yeah, that's true. So how'd it go with the person you wanted to see?
Oh, you have, like, all the material, man.
Well, we didn't really expect to see the Samba Queen. Migi was just out having a good time, and
you guys saw the Sama Queen? Wait, is the Sama Queen the person you want to date?
We saw more than just the Samba Queen, man.
Well, we saw what we could until Migi threw the swords to the side to have her time.
What do you mean? Like, did you guys like dance or train or something?
Dancing is one way to put it.
Hidari's like, dancing's one way to put it, man.
Soren just kind of like looks over to Hidari within the space and just kind of smirks and says, along with her says, that's one way to put it.
Oh, well.
Let's just say there's a reason Migi's all like walking funny, man. She had a fun time.
Well, if you're dancing all night, I guess they'll do it. Yeah, they'll do it. I was kind of talking about. It seemed like you were gonna be meeting somebody at the bar.
Nah, that was like Enwin, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Soren going to see Enwin.
I mean, that's Hidari asking Soren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wanted to go. I did want to go see Enwin, and I did. I was kind of sad that our date was interrupted by the switch, so to speak.
Oh, that's awkward.
It was very awkward. Tell me about it.
I mean, hey man, you got like today to make it up to her, probably.
So how was she? Is she on the level? Do I need to stalk her? Do I need to do anything? Is she on the level?
Stop stalking people.
No.
Soy Fang is there, just like, did someone say stalking?
She is with a
Need to
bad.
stop somebody.
She's a negative. Like,
She is the only person that was nice to me in my own home.
Yeah, and he's going to respond. Oh, she seems like she's trying to do better. She's under observation, heavy observation.
Do you want me to do some heavy observation, or you got it covered?
Well, it looks like Deepwood has it covered. I think we should trust them.
Oh, that's fair. All right. Well, I mean, you know how to find me if you need me to stalk her home and see if she has like this weird ritual where she takes a bit of your fur and, well, I don't know, does a little ritual or something weird like that.
Nah,
That's
dude.
That's a good question. Miki, did she take any of my fur?
No, she didn't. She
Alright,
bit me a
so-
couple times.
Yeah, I felt that.
Edwin bit you a couple of times?
Nah, Samba Queen.
Oh. But why bite when you're what kind of dancing were you doing?
the type that goes a lot with pelvis movement.
It wasn't vertical dancing, but horizontal dancing. She winks.
Agathar is doing the fucking gif where it's the lady with the calculations and he's just like doing his damnedest to figure out what they're meaning.
It's like the the Mac Beach Ball.
Agathar has canonically fucked twice.
Hidari clears it up. She goes, they fucked, man.
Oh.
Oh.
Apparently Migi has Riz of like 1 million or something.
Huh. Well, I guess.
Nothing. I'm not even there.
Oh, well, I guess that. Well, you know what? I guess that makes sense for all the fanfic she writes. I mean, she must have a ton of experience.
Hidari does not comment. And and you guys are now inside of Soren's room with his Zen garden.
Yeah, Agathar is kind of holding the sword like a kid with a doll. He's just kind of like hugging it.
She'll grab it. Need this for a second?
Yeah. It's just my boyfriend. Nah, he'll let her take it.
So I'll see you in a and he just cuts off.
All right. She's gonna begin meditating. Soren.
And Soren's going to try and like help her by directing her through the method while he gets down in the Mind Palace and starts doing the same thing.
Agathar doesn't know what to do, so he just sits across and tries to do the same thing.
All right. After a few moments of settling down, of thinking, of walking her through the exercises.
I know it's really boring, isn't it, Shad?
Shush.
He's going into that Zen moment too.
The both of you, and Hidari as well, feel that same resonance occur. And it's simple for you. You reach forward as if you were picking up a sword and just pick Migi up. And as you pull her towards yourself, two of you exchange places once more, and you are
And-
back in your body.
While that's happening,
Roll me a con save.
Okay. Con save. 14.
Okay, we'll get to that. What are you trying to do?
So before Soren fully gets to his body, is he able to see Agathar's soul like he was able to see Anwen's?
Yes,
Ooh.
he is.
Does that, and he's able to see his own soul, right?
Yes.
And his soul still has that same like orange sliver in it.
Yes. For Agathar, it's not a sliver. It is a teeming, writhing mass around his very soul, this dark green essence.
Can he manipulate, or can he like reach out and touch his soul, or is it just something that he's able to?
You're just able to sense it.
Okay.
I
Something to
think
try
it
later, then.
has. I think it has like the visual, like I think it has like the visual energy of fire. Like it's very like unsettled.
Yes. And the base of it is this ephemeral dark green energy that you would know is in reference to necromancy.
All right, and Soren's soul is just like that same red like thing, that red spherish thing with the yellow splitter in it,
Orange splinter in it.
or orange splitter, yeah.
And it's
So,
not so much a
all right.
splinter as it is a spike.
Yeah. So as he gets to Migi, she might like, if they're able to see like expressions between the two, she will notice he's looking troubled at it, as he then continues to let the exchange happen, and he gets back into his body.
All right. You do not suffer a level of exhaustion,
Yay!
but you do feel like at first it was phantom sensations on your body, so you were in mild pain, but this is like actual pain, physical pain. You can feel it. So like the second you go into your body, you're like, "Ugh, that hurts."
Yeah, so he's going to just he's going to, like, still sitting there in the meditative pose, he's going to take a deep breath and then split his hands and begin to like massage his legs.
From your right side, you hear me go, "Wow, I feel great now."
I'm glad for you.
Ooh. Sorry, boss.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We both enjoyed it.
Is this an out loud conversation or is this a mental?
Mental.
Well, Soren's part is out loud, but
Okay, cool. You immediately like feel someone like press against you. Soren, you good? You back? Immediately snaps out of it meditation quotations, and then he's immediately like, "You good? Are you right?"
He is currently like on your chest. His little feet are planted in your stomach, and his hands are like on your collar, forehead connected to yours. Just like, hey, you okay? You okay? You okay? Huh?
It was like immediately like I think he was about to get into like a zone of like when you feel like you're getting to sleep, like that sensation, and then something moved and you immediately snap out of that.
So yeah, he like Agathor would probably knock him over onto his back then.
Yeah, he kind of goes at him like a missile.
And Soren's legs just like splay out like straight as he stretches them, trying to get blood flowing to them. It's like, oh, that's sore. Oh, I'm back. Hi, Muffin.
He just splats on his chest. Oh.
And Soren's
I'm
gonna
gonna-
just like wrap his arms around him, just hold him close.
Yeah.
How have you been?
And I'm gonna pause you there. So,
Yeah.
as the two of you share and embrace and enjoy a special moment with one another, that's where we're going to end session for today.
And actually, can I think I have an idea for a better place to end it. Just
Ooh.
a short, maybe a couple.
Go
exchange-
ahead.
Just a couple of sentences.
Go
So,
ahead.
so as he's holding Agathar, Soren's just gonna say, "So I think I've got the answer I was looking for. Thanks for being here."
Any time, Sensei.
And he's gonna smile at that and chuckle, and then, like, as he's rubbing Agathar's head, he's gonna say, "I think I know how I'm a linchpin."
He looks up like, go on.
I think the Archmage tampered with my soul. And that's where...
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
that
nice.
was-
All right. So, well, thank you, YouTube audience, for joining us. We're going to go into the post stream on our Twitch stream for all of our lovely viewers there. And so, Agathar, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Morrigan, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Rencois, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye. It helped if I unmute first.
Soren, say goodbye to the people.
I'm sore, but goodbye. I need a
And
nap.
Vonnie,
Soren.
say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right. And remember to like, subscribe, comment, so on and so forth. And from all of us to all of you, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Remember to stretch.